for the two unalivements that have occurred in Minnesota, which is a tragedy, but nonetheless predictable in my opinion, particularly in one case based on what had occurred. In terms of her as a person, I mean, there was a lot of jokes about G.I. Joe Barbie. she definitely lived up to certain things, but I think ultimately the Department of DHS's head is a difficult role, and one that will ultimately involve some blame if the tactics that the administration has employed so far in Trump's second term continue. And I don't necessarily think that's the tactics are a bad thing. I just think it's inevitable that the department head might face some kind of public scrutiny, which will amount to something like what just happened.
They can never address the fraud, man. Either they haven't seen it, they can never address the fraud. But when it's a Somali, they know everything about it.
Clearly don't do that.
$143 million spent on a 60-second ad.
$142 million and $8.9 billion. So hold up. We're not going to do that, sir. We're in F around Friday today.
It's still fraud, whether it's billions or millions, bro.
No, those are not the same. You cannot equate them. All fraud, yeah, you're right, though. All fraud should be disparaged. Okay, fine.
Are the new guests still going?
Because it's the same, bro. It is literally 18 times. What are you talking about, homie?
Nice. So for the new guests that don't know, we do have a bounty system.
It's just like the fraud that we're facing in City Hall right now in Dallas. Same situation.
Can you hear Shadow? Maybe you on a delay. Okay. So we do have a bounty. So Cypher, you got a bounty. You want to speak your mind before the bounty's up. It is $20 to drop somebody.
Can you hear me?
So you got a few minutes, a few seconds to say what you got to say, Cypher, before you get dropped, unless you got $20 or somebody in the chat wants to spend $20 to bring you back. Go ahead, Cypher.
I appreciate
Just let the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see you try it.
It says, Snow Roach. God damn. So it's $20 to bring Cypher back. If y'all want to hear her keep on with her commentary and her thoughts on everything, it's $20 to bring back with us. Cash App us.
Oh, Sharon, Cypher's a man.
Oh, sorry about that.
Not for real.
Sorry about that, Cypher. I apologize.
He must be a eunuch. That must be a eunuch if it's a man.
Was she born a man?
We're not going to get into that neither. No, we're not. Average female debater said she knows the person. No,
I know Cypher is very much a man. I've seen Cypher on camera.
But it seems
Cypher
the voice kind of. Anyway,
we're not going to be concerned about the person's voice and all that other stuff, right? All right, go ahead, Brownsville.
I mean, it is kind of ironic, right? That whenever we get these white guests up on your show to speak about the degeneracy going on in their culture, they never want to speak on it. They don't have any opinions. I was going away from my desk for 2 days and things of that nature, right? But these are the same people who will criticize an accomplished woman like Jasmine Crockett, right? Who has a law degree, very articulate, very intelligent. And Kristi Noem, let's keep it real, right? Kristi Noem is a DEI hire, right? This is a woman who dropped out of college, right, to take care of her daddy's farm. This is a woman who doesn't have a tenth of the intelligence that Jasmine Crockett has, but yet she's been elevated to different important positions because she is white, right? DEI, right? Diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? But you never hear our white guests speak out against those type of DEI hires. I wonder why, right? She's being accused of having extramarital affairs. That's not very conservative. She's being accused of misappropriating hundreds of millions of federal funds. That's not very conservative. So I'm trying to understand the disconnect or the hypocrisy of why our white guests refuse to speak on the degeneracy that is taking over the white culture, right? Let alone they scared to death to speak on the Epstein files, right? Because now you got to condemn the pedo in chief, right? They don't want to have those conversations. And it's kind of nauseating at this point, right? Cuzzo, you need to ask them the tough questions, right? Why is it so pervasive in white culture to support pedophilia?
Sir,
That's a question I want them to answer. Peace and love.
sir, I would like to encounter. Oh,
Okay, you got an average female debater. You and Shadow are our white folks that are here today, so you have the floor.
Nigga.
Wait, which side am I being put on?
an honorary.
Hey, y'all, hold on.
Everybody.
Hold on. We're not sure. Hey, y'all, we're not sure
Okay,
what
all
side of the fence you
I'm
are
still being
pointing today.
drafted.
We're gonna wait to see. We're gonna let you talk. Hey, y'all, we're gonna see what
All right,
side of the fence you are. You on your black side or your white side? We're gonna find out. But average
Shadow
female
Baby.
debater, hold on, y'all. Average female debater, you can answer it, and then we got Shadow, and then we're gonna find out what side AR is on. Go ahead.
Yeah, so first off, I'd like to address the comparative analysis that was made between obviously Jasmine Crockett, representative of the House, and also Secretary Christine Noem. First off, I'm sure that everybody has seen number one, Crockett's outburst in chambers the other day, which was rather concerning, but I don't really care about that as much as I do about the fact that she has also reportedly had cards removed. A quote unquote white girl reporter from a rally, which was interesting. Christy Noem is no saint either. I mean, look, she unalived her dog, which is horrible. To my knowledge, she has not been actually charged or convicted with any kind of criminal offense, whether up to summary judgment or beyond. In terms of the e-files, I mean, look, there's a lot of horrible players at hand there. Anybody, in my opinion, who is found to be guilty for the e-files should be, number one, if they are a member of public office who needs to be impeached. And number two, put behind bars, and they should never see a day of sunlight. Again, that is a deplorable act, which should be condemned at every point in time. That is my take on it.
Yeah, but you didn't mention comparing their educational record, right? Which what I did, right? We understand Jasmine Crockett has a law degree, very accomplished woman, right? Had to work hard to get to the position in life that she got to, right? But Christy Noem was a person who was able to drop out of college to take care of her father's farm and then still exercise white privilege and DEI, which y'all are staunchly against, right? Apparently, that's what I hear y'all say all the time. It's just very hypocritical. And then you want to, you don't even want to say Epstein's name, right? Which kind of shows that you agree with what I'm saying when I say in white culture, y'all, for some reason, are totally fine with pedo behavior, right? Because y'all don't even want the full Epstein files to be unredacted, right? So we can see all the misconduct, all the harm that was caused to the white babies, the white kids that y'all supposedly love, right? I mean, I'm trying to understand if y'all are against degeneracy or for degeneracy. And it seems to me like y'all are definitely for degeneracy, and even worse.
So let me
Y'all don't have a problem with harming babies and kids.
It's part of their culture. It's part of their culture.
Again, that's putting words in my mouth. Okay, let me respond. Number one, on the education thing, right? Education doesn't mean SHIT as far as I'm concerned. Like, you could be a lawyer, you could be a judge, you can still do unethical things. It really doesn't mean anything. Sure, there is a certain amount of regulatory requirements. Like, I have a law degree myself, and I am bound by certain, professional obligations, but that doesn't effectively mean that I can't do immoral things. It's not it's not a bar to that. In terms of why I didn't say the full name, I'm not sure if it's against TOS. I don't mind saying Epstein files if that's something that I can say on here. I'm fine to say that. I just don't want to, affect Sharon. In terms of whether or not that's part of the culture, not in my knowledge, it isn't. I guess there's certain perverse amounts of white people that might be into that, but that's not part of our culture. It's not something I was even familiar with, to the extent that they had done it until I saw the Epstein files. So, and I don't really find white babies to be anything of specific priority. I think in a birth rate crisis, all babies are important. And as a Orthodox Christian, all babies are to be loved and a gift from God. And so I would not discriminate on that at all.
It's part of their culture. Ancient Rome and Greece is considered high culture to them, and that's where it was. It was rampant. If you look up what being a mentor is, you'll see it there. That's why Cupid is a baby being concerned about love between a man and a woman, right? It's pervasive throughout their culture.
PH, where is the evidence of that? Where's the statistics that back that up? Because this is news to me.
Oh, well, shit. I thought he gave the statistics about how 77% of those types of crimes are committed by y'all. And a lot of times it's even the children's father.
Okay.
What's his name? Brian Tebow? Tim Tebow? He was just testifying again about it and how don't nobody want to talk about this. Literally this past week, he was just testifying about the same issue and how people trying to sweep it under the rug. But there's a crisis in these white homes with regard to the children being touched up and abused.
Okay, so assuming that's true, that's one case. Can you demonstrate that there's a statistical trend with respect to that occurring in the white population?
I just gave you the statistics. 77% of those, percent indicates statistic, love. So 77% of those crimes are committed by white males.
PhD, but you need to provide me with a source.
But young lady, if you go to the FBI,
right, where do we get any other crime statistic? Any other crime statistic, they know just where to freaking go. But when you start talking about they dirty laundry, now we got to point them to the right address.
Have we talked before? Ma'am,
hold on, let them finish the
database that you all are the perpetrators in those type of sex crimes in your inner family and inner what's the nice way, delicate is saying this, in your own homes. It's you all. Like it says specifically which demographic group of people are most probably to commit those crimes and have committed those crimes. And you all by far have surpassed us in type of sexual inappropriate behavior amongst children and family members. Ancestral, that's what I was looking for. Ancestral sex crime, that is there on the FBI database. You cannot refute that, honey. The FBI is not systematically targeting anybody. They put specific races, what their charges are, what they're most likely to do, and what they have done. All that's there. So if you want to know where to go do it, FBI.gov. All right, that's what stats are.
Thank you, Beachy. Yeah, no, I do contend with the fact that there is a large majority of PDF issues that are pertaining to white men, primarily because the majority of the white male population in the United States is, the male population, my apologies, is made up of white men. There is a statistical skew that needs to be acknowledged if we are to kind of take a look at those statistics, because there is a population majority of a specific demographic. Is that something you acknowledge in your statement, or?
That made absolutely no sense. Could you clarify what you mean? And then after that, can you get back on what that birth rate crisis little thing you threw out there and elaborate? But you didn't make any sense of what you're asking. Like I said,
the population differences, the difference in the size of the populations of Black people and white people, right? But the thing when they do those statistics, they do them is, however many per whatever. And so in that way, they're able to equate the groups. So they've already taken that.
Per capita is there, ma'am. I think she wants to say per capita because, that's what they go to when they don't have the word to say. So we can just say per capita, honey, it's there. I don't know why you're trying to tiptoe out of that, because we have our things that do happen, and we understand. Yeah, you know, we guilty for that, but your dirt is your dirt. And I don't know what's the problem with just saying, yes, there is an issue within our own community. That's something, it's been like that for the longest time. I understand. Like, like, why can't you just say, yes? Like, it doesn't mean that you're that person or that you do it, but you cannot undo what has been done and what is in the books. Just like Diva said, going back way before back then, none of us can undo Rome. We can't unwrong Rome. Rome was Rome. And Rome did what Rome did. Pompeii and etc. I digress.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I never.
Before you go, Average, let me just read the Cash App. It says, "Why does compassionate Black people rub white people wrong?" Interesting. And also, Act Shadow, if he put raisins in his potato salad. You don't have
I'm
to.
gonna finish it. Hey, I'm finna finish sending you money because I'm gonna cuss that nigga out.
And you sitting there looking like you waiting on the answer.
All right, so I just wanted to make sure that the Cash App was honored. Get Average female debater. We also will bring Cypher in as well. So Cypher, he can be a part of the conversation as well. Go ahead, Average female debater.
Thank you, Sharon, sir. Yeah, so basically, yes, I was asking whether or not Beachy is incorporating the overall statistics of men in the United States versus men that are white in her analysis of the issue. Again, like, I'm not here to deny that issues have occurred or that they were horrible, horrendous, and something that's deplorable. I mean, any kind of act of PDF or IPV is horrendous, and I don't think it should be supported in any way, right? I'm just asking, because I'm a debater by heart, whether or not you accounted for the statistical skewing of the population being a majority white in terms of men in the United States of America. That was all I was asking.
That's fine that you asked, but also Beachy, she put out that it's not only just because the majority, but also per capita, still, regardless of y'all being a majority or not, still regardless, 77% of those crimes is committed by a certain group of people, and that group of people is your people. So, and the same way how we've been hearing for years for the Black conservative side, all conservatives all together, right? Let me just say conservative all together, that, you know, Black people gotta be held accountable for our crimes and deletion rates and all those type of things, right? And just be honest about the information that we see. And so now this is one of the information that we see that is a part of the FBI, that these are people that got arrested and convicted for these things at a 77% clip, is a certain group of people. Why we can't talk about. Also, fraud is very high, and Chrissy Nome is showing improvement with over $220 million for a 60-second commercial. We got Hollywood movies that cost less than $100 million. Somehow, for a 60-second commercial, she figured out a way to spend $220 million. You know what I'm saying? So we just want to have that.
Those elite crimes, those are also on that database, more likely to committed by them for obvious reasons. Those elite criminal crimes, that's their people thing, and they are leading in that. We in there too, but they are by far surpassing in those which will be called elite collar crimes. Okay,
White collar crimes.
Scamming. Well, they actually call it elite, not just white collar, but they call it elite white collar crimes. Like, I guess it's a little bit more extra because they add in that the number is more larger, so it's just not an average white collar crime. It's like a super duper elite white collar crime. I don't know. I didn't make the word up, but it says elite white collar crime. So,
Ron, I have a question.
Yep.
Are we allowing racism? Because I was just called a racial slur in the back chat.
Yeah, after you called me one, you mean?
Nah,
I did not call you a racial slur, sir. Cracker is not a racial slur.
It most certainly is.
Get him out of here.
Most certainly not. And the difference is cracker was something that you named yourselves. See, the Kentucky crackers or the Florida crackers, right? So learn your history. Yeah. You called yourself cracker.
And I called you what I called you.
So, and don't ask It was
love
a
how
racial
triggered
slur.
you are.
I did not call you a racial slur.
certainly did.
Sharon,
You
are we
certainly did.
allowing the black
You've been
guests who
coming
are
for me
here every day to
all
be
morning.
called racial slurs?
Why you asking me that?
No,
when you
hey,
know you
Cuzzo,
hold
Cuzzo,
on,
get
hold
that
on,
hermaphrodite
hold
out
on,
of here.
hold on,
Go
hold
and
on. I
read
need
up
to
the chat
hold
and
on.
view
Hold
the
on, Browser, because I need
antagonism.
hold on, Cypher, because Diva knows she has a lot of power, so I don't know. It's up to you, Diva, what you want to do. She was being so Browser. You got to also check the sarcasm too, because Diva knows she can ask me anything she wants. So she also could demand what she wants as well too.
I don't feel safe with Cypher here.
Okay, so Cypher, I apologize. So
Get the hermaphrodite out of here.
Cypher's a man, but that was out of line. I don't support that. So,
Ain't nobody ask you what you support. You a guest here.
what do I support? In what sense? I mean, that's a pretty broad question. Do you not agree?
okay.
I just out of curiosity, which one of y'all said someone sent you the channel link and you came over to see what was going on?
That was Cypher.
Oh, okay, well that's your friend, right? So you would know.
I know Cypher. Yes.
You came with Cypher though, right? Y'all came together like tag team back again.
No,
like
I know
Okay,
Cypher.
we can get back to the conversation. It doesn't matter. They got the link. They hit. Cypher and Diva, they ain't getting along. It is what it is.
Can I go after the average debater real quick? Because she said something that bothered me.
All right, so let's get back to the actual content and actually have a conversation about what we talking about. Please go ahead, Shadow.
All right, debater, you made the comment that you're talking about the majority of the population, which skews the number for the percentile, right? But I'm going to contest that inherently because despite the fact of that statement, that number is actually based on total criminal convictions. That's the total population of the entire United States that have specifically been convicted of crimes. And now when you actually look at it, again, as Dave noticed earlier, I was raised by a white family throughout a large majority of my life. So right now, I feel like you're being very disingenuous because you know more than you're actually saying. And I don't know, I'm not sure why, but factually speaking, I know for a fact that most of the people convicted of S crimes at all are in fact Caucasians. And even if we look at the female population, most of the teachers who have committed the crimes were Caucasian females. So I'm not sure why you're trying to differentiate so much.
So it wasn't intended to be malicious or disingenuous. It was just an inquiry based on logic where it was just asking if the statistics, because I still really haven't seen the source, whether or not that was based on, because you said the overall population, right? The overall population is already imbalanced, right? White men, for instance, make up 74% of the U.S. male population. So, and I would reckon, I haven't looked at the figures, that with respect to teachers, right, it's probably predominantly white, right, except in certain jurisdictions, and that is primarily female because there are certain roles which females gravitate to. We typically work in fields like nursing, teaching, social services, human resources.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll bite that apple. But here's the problem. Even with what you're saying, because statistically, allegedly, Black Americans commit a bulk of the crimes, right? Based on the same numbers that we're looking at. So how is a group of people who is the smallest group of people in the population still not reaching nearly the same rate of SA crimes as the white Americans who are committing allegedly less crimes? This is what I'm getting at. Despite the fact that we're looking at the overall population, we're talking about the people who commit the crimes. And if they're only committing allegedly 26% of the crimes, how are 70% of the crimes that they're committing? It's either family members.
Are you referring to the overall crime rate, like all crimes, Shadow? Oh, sorry, I think he's muted.
You good?
Shadow, we can't hear you.
I think he lost reception. We got over 200 people in the place to be. We need to get the likes up. We need to get the shares up. I don't know what the issue is, but we need to get y'all to hit the likes buttons, hit the share button. Doesn't necessarily mean that you like it. It just means that you are here and that you are watching the show. That's all it means. So hit the like button and hit the share button. Let's get it together, especially the people that's here every single day. It is no way possible that we at over 200 people here and we not even at 80 likes. It's ridiculous. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the ridiculousness. When we try to have these difficult conversations, y'all act real weird. I don't fucking get it.
People are nervous.
It's very weird to me that we cannot have we want to have these difficult conversations. We want to have conversations that ain't about DNP conversations. Then when we have it and we have a big group of people here, all of a sudden everybody gets scared. We made $5 today. This is insane.
I sure did I get cut off?
Yes, you did. Go ahead.
Hold up. Let me give my support real quick. Wait, I'll do it after this. How far into that did I get before it cut off?
Yeah, everything but the last sentence.
Okay, so based on the quote unquote numbers, especially ones that are spoken by the conservatives, again, how is it that we as blacks who commit 73% of the crimes only committing 8% of S crimes that are undocumented, but y'all are committing 73 while committing 23% of the total crimes? That math doesn't make any sense. And that's why I'm saying you're being disingenuous, because it's saying most of the crimes that are being committed by y'all are pedo related. So you get what I'm saying, right?
Absolutely, sir. Yeah, no, I'd love to address that. So are we talking about arrests or convictions? Because that
convictions. Convictions specifically.
Okay, yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, so for SA specifically, because that's what we're talking about, right? 57.5, right, are white. 16.1 are black. The only areas in which y'all do have a significant increase would be in the areas of unaliving, robbery, and drugs, right? Those are the primary issues that seem to be prevalent in terms of a black offender. Why is that in terms of white people? Well, I suppose one could draw a lot of conclusions, right? Based on the statistical analysis. One would be the obvious one. You could determine that we're perverts for some reason. And I mean, like, I personally think that's deplorable that people would even do that. The second one would be that there is some kind of statistical skewing, which if you analyze or if you prioritize your analysis of crime statistics based on stereotypes, you would be like, well, that's not true, because according to stereotypes, white people get arrested less, right? So if anything, the statistics would skew in favor of black people being the less offensive group. And the third one that you could determine is just simply that there's some kind of underreporting, and that the population control numbers, which basically state that white people are the majority, seems to skew it in some way, shape, or form. I'm not sure. I don't have a degree in statistical analysis, but yeah, shout out sure W.
And hold on one second. By any chance, female debate, do you know Glacier Maniac?
Yeah, she's cool. She's also a black woman.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, Glacier Maniac. Let me read before I bring you into the conversation. Let me read a couple of the super chats that I did get. Let's go with go ahead, Diva. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
Beachy 08 $5. Hey Beachy. That's major misappropriation of funds.
Absolutely.
Detroit Coalition. Hey Detroit, $2. Where's all that ICE support now?
Damn.
The Real Prism XO. Hey Prism, $10. You call my name more than once. I show up to give respect. Peace and love to the Bracy's, PH Diva, Brownsville, and the Chat Kings and Queens. Peace and love. Phil James 1, $2. What's the best evidence you have, Trump? Bubba homeschool, $5. Bees commit more P crime against children per capita. Bees 28%, but only 15% of pop. W 65%, but 65% of pop. Not no more. Learn math, diva. Stop lies. Shadow the Titan Wasp, $20 super sticker. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you. All right, Shadow, was you finished? You wanted to say something to God? We're gonna let y'all finish your conversation. We're gonna bring Glacier Maniac in right after that. Go.
So I get to be that guy. You made the comment that it might be underreporting, and I realized as I said what I said, you kind of shifted slightly. I didn't just say S crimes. I said S crimes against minors. I was very specific because those are a completely different category of felony. And we're not just talking about what's underreported, because as we know, a lot of it is underreported because they don't want to disclose family members. So again, if we're being honest again, even if we're going to obfuscate and say apples, oranges, and bananas, we're still grossly outnumbered when it comes to actual S crimes against children. And that is the issue that, as much as I disagree with Brownsville on a lot of things, the point he's making is that it's not being talked about. And the reason why it's not being talked about, and even you gave statistic could.
Okay. So, I don't want to speak over him if he's not done.
It seemed like you good. He probably got a phone call or something like that. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, no, for sure. So, you
good? Go ahead.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay, yeah, you back. Can you hear us? All right, go ahead. Average female debate while he get his audio together. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
For sure. So the report that I primarily have to reference here would be quick facts about SA offenders with respect to the United States Sentencing Commission. That deals with respect to child issues and so on and so forth. If anybody wants to look at it, happy to discuss that a bit further. There's a couple of issues with that in terms of a statistical analysis. It doesn't really account for per capita or specific population control. It does indicate, although, that white men are the primary perpetrators, and that the victimization rates primarily are related to American Indian or Alaska Native Americans.
Goddamn.
Which I think could probably be indicative of the indigenous issues that obviously America faces, and there's also Canada.
And I wonder if any of those was $5 Indians. Is interested. But
second is Black or African American. Actually, second highest. And then we have 2 or more races, 9.2, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, 8.0, Hispanic, 6.7, white, 6.3, and Asian, 1.2. Based on the deviation of percentages in terms of victimization rates, and according to the presumption that most of these people's parents are that race, right? Because that's not always true, but it is generally true. For the purposes of analysis, one would suppose that indigenous crime makes up a lot of that. Whether or not that's like actual parents of indigenous children that are doing that, or white men that are like abducting the children and doing that to allow for
cosplaying as Native Americans as well, because we know that happened as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Nobody can deny that. I'm not gonna, and I won't sit here and deny that, right? But yeah,
but the problem is that for some reason this conversation is very difficult for people to communicate on. They try to sweep this type of conversation under the rug. That's the problem that we keep having. But when it comes to us, people are willing to put out our dirty laundry all the time. And then when we defend it, when we explain all the situations why we are in this crime rate that we are in, it's like, oh, those are excuses. And then when it's just interesting to hear. Welcome to Glacier Maniac. Good day to you. What is your thoughts on the topic at hand?
I'll be honest with you, because this is something that I feel very passionate about, since it's something that I do genuinely experience on a regular basis, and I try to use historical backing, trying to understand why does this happen. But I am a little bit annoyed over the idea of focusing on one type of crime when crime in general is a detriment for all communities, including our own. Why do we only focus on one type of crime when we should be expanding on why is crime so prevalent?
So that's a good question. So what race does the majority of the crime in America?
Based upon statistics?
Yes.
Paige, you know statistics. Can you pull that up for me, please?
Who you want to pull it up?
I sure can. What's up? What do you want me to look up specifically?
Crime in general.
Crime in the United States.
So
by what
hold on.
category?
Yeah, so while you looking at, but Glacier, you said this is something that you do on a daily basis.
So
correct?
Here's the thing.
No, is that correct? You said this is something that you passionate about because you do it on a daily basis, correct?
I do a variety of different things. I focus more on the historical ramifications of something rather than the specific statistics.
Okay, perfect. So now historically, who has committed majority of the crimes in America by race?
By race?
Yeah.
The problem is, whenever we have these conversations,
does she have the?
I believe that. So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
You have the answer, Glacier?
I'm not focusing on specific crimes. I'm thinking more about the community as well as the culture around it.
Correct. So again, right, I'm asking you, right? Because this is why I'm asking you, right? Because you said it's something that you are passionate about. This is something that you look into historically. So would you historically look?
Well, you never asked about how. You never asked about what ramifications that I'm actually focusing on when it comes to historically. You don't even know what I'm focusing on at all.
Perfect. Because Glacier, you did tell me what you was focused on.
You're making a great deal of assumptions without asking me about what I'm actually, what my views are.
He is asking you questions.
I got it. So Glacier, you said that you are focused on crime overall. Is that not correct?
I focus on how the Black community has evolved over the past 6 years. I'm glad to see that you find it funny.
Yeah, what's funny, sweetheart, is the fact that you came up here acting like you talk about crime in general and you just concerned about all crime, when what you're really concerned about is trying to paint a picture of Black people as being degenerates. And he just called your stupid ass out. That's what was funny. That's what was funny, right? It's all about the Black community. Okay, so let me ask you this. Since you are so concerned about crime in the Black community, what are you doing to try to mitigate that? What are you trying to do to mitigate it? I'm just asking what you're trying to do to mitigate it. Because you do this a lot. You said this is what you do every day. So what do you do to mitigate the crime?
Why are you calling Black people degenerate? I never called.
I didn't call them degenerate.
You did call them degenerate.
You focused on.
You called them degenerate. I never said anything about Black people being degenerate.
So okay, well, so you don't call them degenerate. Okay, but again, so if you're so concerned about the crime in the Black community, what are you doing? Since you've been doing this for a minute, you do this all the time. What conclusions and solutions have you come up with that we can start implementing? That's what we're trying to get from you, because you said this is what you do.
Right.
You're probably not going to like the solution that I suggest.
No, go ahead.
Lady, if you're here to have a conversation, then let's have it.
I'm
keep
having
doing
a
all this
conversation.
women and
But
harm.
you're trying to
answer the questions, ma'am.
Okay, then let me answer it. I think that first and foremost, everybody should step away from the welfare state.
So, okay, so you focus on the historical implications of crime overall, And so the conclusion that you've drawn is people need to step away from the welfare state.
I mean, it's one of many things. The
Slap
fact
the
of the matter,
taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see you try it.
I'm sorry, Glacier. You could just wait 15 minutes. You got hit with the Titanic called and said Glacier needs to go. Lord.
I'm 2 for 2.
So it's $20 to bring Glacier back, or Glacier could wait to 15 minutes so she could join back into the conversation. And I also want to say, Average Debater did say this was a black woman, so hey,
She is, yeah.
Yeah, but she over there with all
it
of
is
them.
interesting to see. So anybody that's in the chat that want to bring Glacier, oh, that's
Yeah,
yes.
they
So
should.
anybody that wants to, I'm waiting for
Prove it.
Cherry, your
I'm
camera,
not buying
your
it.
camera is not working. Hold on, y'all. Bomb, your camera is doing something strange, so try to fix that, Bomb Cherry, while you're in the back. So it's $20 to bring her back, Glacier, or you could just wait the 15 minutes. I do find it interesting, Average Female Debater, that she said she's focused on this very direct thing, and then when I started asking her questions about this very direct thing, she did not have the answers or was not willing to answer very direct questions. That was very interesting to me.
Well, Sharon, you know, people affiliate with some people are better at statistical analysis. Others are better at conversing. Some are more charming. You know, everybody has their own skill set when it comes to conversation. So
I rely on charm for the most part.
But I do find it interesting.
That was funny as hell. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, am I the only one that a Glacier isn't a Glacier white in color and trying to figure out who identifies himself as a white name? It sounds not just white, but your whole demeanor and behavior, Glacier, is of the Caucasian woman, and then you're.
It's okay. We're not gonna focus on that. That's what she is, and we're trying to beat you.
That's why it's Glacier.
You won't be able to hide behind these cameras and things because you can't face it. It's just a little bit uncomfortable because you can't face me and turn your camera on and look me in my eyes and be who it is that you say you are. It's very uncomfortable. You can't look at me or Diva or any of us in face to face, eye to eye. So I can't take you serious. I find you to be an interloper and that you're perpetrating.
Okay, that's okay. I like that. Go ahead, Brownsville. I know you was trying to get in a couple of times. Go ahead, Brownsville.
Yeah, I just find it interesting, you know, when we're having a show focusing on the degeneracy of white people who are in very important positions in our country, right? We have white and black people attempting to distract us and deflect us from the point of the show, right? For some strange reason, it seems like that's always the agenda, right? Like the average white debater, she said
the average white debater.
She told Shadow, when Shadow asked her specific questions about child crimes, as related to sex, she goes to talk about robberies and deletions and drug-related offenses that plague the black community, right? So that's just an example of a white woman who isn't interested in fixing the degeneracy that is overtaking her culture, right? She didn't even want to mention Epstein's name, right? And if you look at those files, right? Overwhelmingly, we find white men. And if you look at those allegations, we're talking about trafficking and harming and assaulting young girls, starting at the ages of 5 and 6. So I don't understand why she is more focused on trying to further a narrative that's false or some type of stigma or stereotype about the black community, when in her own community, there's serious problems that's happening right now, right? You got the pedo in chief, you got Kristi Kreme Noel, involved in the trifecta of degeneracy. You got all of these issues going on, right? I want to hear you talk about how invested you are and your compadres are in fixing and eradicating the degeneracy in your culture and protecting young boys and girls from your pedo community.
So that was a huge straw man. You just like straw man me multiple times. You said that Trump is the pedo in chief for some reason, which like I'm like, okay, like has he been convicted for that? Because like if he has, like by all means, put him away. Never let him see an office or anything for like the rest of his days, right? And the second component that you said was like, what am I going to do to fix it? Like, what do you want me to do? Take time out of my day to like personally hunt down every single white person that I think might be engaging in that? And then what? Like I need to like, I don't know, file some kind of report with them for the Department of Justice and have them prosecuted on a federal level? Like I work 4 jobs already. Like what do you want me to do? And the better question is like, if you're going to criticize me for the absence of what I'm doing, what are you doing?
And see, and that's the thing, right? I asked you for solutions, and all I heard you say is you're too busy.
Don't answer the question.
Things, right?
Answer the question, please, sir. I was being nice. Now I'm kind of I'm a bit miffed now. Okay. Can you please answer the question as to what are you doing? If you're going to criticize me.
So professionally, for your information, I work hard in putting those people away every single day.
What do you do for a living?
I'm in law enforcement.
Okay, so it's part of your regular job. There's nothing that extra is required in terms of like you putting people away. Do you like specifically hunt out like these supposed like white pedos, or like what exactly is the scope of your practice?
The scope of my practice is protecting children, right? Protecting children from people who are mentioned in the Epstein.
Are you Black Chris Hansen?
Right? Protecting children
Did
from
she say
the
Black
incels
Chris Hansen?
who are attempting
Hunter,
to harm children in
You goofy
school,
looking deep.
right? And for the most part, give us the statistics on school shooters, right? Tell us the proportion in terms of race of who are the ones committing atrocities against kids in schools. Can you do that?
Well, you're the one that
here's the thing.
You're the one that makes
right?
the affirmative claim. Why don't you provide the statistics, sir?
No, but you're the one who came and said you got the statistics, and this is what you focused on. You're the
On
average
another
white debater,
issue,
right? So
yeah, on
what I'm
another
saying
issue,
is,
I do. Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? When it comes to harming children, that is something that is very pervasive in your culture. And it seems to me that reasonable
it's horrible.
people,
And
such as yourself,
does it make it less horrible if it's in another culture?
It seems to me that reasonable people, such as yourself, will be working hard at finding solutions to help protect the children in your culture and other cultures, right?
Yeah,
one thing we should all agree upon is protecting kids, right?
Yes, it's called voting.
I mean, listen. You said you're too busy. You got 4 jobs. You don't want to come up with these solutions. You don't want to have these types of conversations.
Oh my gosh.
You rather talk about other things. And I just think that's alarming, right?
Brownsville. Sir.
Because here's the thing, right?
Sir.
More than anything else, I am a father, right?
Okay.
And I have 2 teenage children, right? And I want them to live in a world to where the majority of people are reasonable and they believe that children should be protected at all times. But when I'm hearing you speak, I'm not hearing you advocating for that. You should be talking about these Epstein files, since you have a law degree, right? What I would like to hear from you is how you went through the Epstein files and you've located all these different white people that we need to investigate, we need to lock up.
Sorry. So, okay, let's just assume for a second that I did go through the files in their entirety, which I've gone through most of them, but like, let's just assume for a second that I've gone through them in their entirety. Okay. And I've identified some kind of like error that the Department of Justice somehow made with its like ginormous team of legal experts and investigators. And I've identified a couple of people that ought to have been prosecuted. How exactly do you think that I would go about introducing that evidence? And like, what exactly would that entail? Do you know?
Well, for the most part, the first step is spreading that awareness, saying, hey, I located all of these different people who have been accused of all of these different nefarious allegations, and we need to bring this to the forefront of our people, because these types of allegations should not be taken lightly, right? These types of allegations should not be hidden from the public, especially when the commander-in-chief is implicated in a lot of these allegations, right? So this is the problem. We talking about Kristi Cream Noam, right? Look at all of these allegations attached to her name right now. Which is the basis of the show, right? Mismanagement of ICE agents all across this country that resulted in American deaths, right? Misappropriation of federal funds upwards of over $200 million, right? Possibly engaging in extramarital affairs, right? All of these things are not good. This is degeneracy. And I need more white people who are reasonable, such as yourself, to speak out against this and want to really fix it for our community, right? Because we have to live together, right?
Absolutely.
That's what we need. I need you to be on the front lines, pointing these things out and speaking out how we need to fix it and find solutions to eradicate these things from our community. Do you disagree with that?
No, I don't. So Brownsville, number one, how have I not illustrated that this is a problem and condemned it? And number two, how am I not doing that right now? There's 145 people watching. I think at some point there was 160. I've already established I'm not afraid to show my face. I have my own YouTube channel, which anyone is free to follow, by the way. And I do regular debates on social commentary. Why the heck do you think that I'm hiding from this or that I'm ashamed?
Because you're not approaching the topic directly, right? You were attempting to deflect. You wasn't really even to say the name Epstein, right? You wasn't really even to give Kristi Cream Noam any real criticism, right? For all of these different allegations and why she got fired, right? I didn't hear you once even mention all of the allegations that you've read as it relates to the Epstein files and our current president, right? Not one time did you mention, hey,
okay,
these allegations are horrid, and if they're true, we have a huge problem. Right?
I did. I said if they're true, he should be impeached and put in jail, and he should never see the sunlight for the rest of his days. Did I not say that? Did everybody miss that part?
Yeah, you said that after you was pressured to say that.
Oh, and your opinion.
You didn't say that when in your opening monologue.
Why would I say that in my opening monologue? We haven't even clarified at that point what I was going to be speaking about.
Right, but if you was listening to the show before you hit the link, the whole conversation revolved around
do you want to
degeneracy
stone me
that is pervasive
or
in the white culture. That's what the topic was about. And I was expecting you to hit the link and say, you know what? Yes, we got a problem. We got a degeneracy problem that's pervasive in white culture, and our kids are in danger because of these degenerate white men. That's what I wanted to hear you say, and it seems like you were trying to deflect to talk about the issues that we have to deal with in the Black community.
Okay, go ahead, average female debater.
Yeah, no,
I slap the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see it.
Go ahead, PhD Diva. Yeah.
I think Diva said she'd be right back.
No, okay. It says at the Real Prism XO $20. Please, Grandma, grudge back to her TV screens. What's BIH means? I don't know what that one means. Also, we got the GOAT B1 Task 499. Hold it down, Sharon. I'm doing my best. It's rough out here on these YouTube streets trying to facilitate important discussions. Time to turn the camera back off. Lord, y'all are insane.
I honestly would like for them to keep their camera on so we can see their face when they talk, so we can see there's emotion behind speaking and things that you just can't, it's real. I want to see the emotion. I want eye contact. So no, please keep your camera on. I encourage the camera. We want you to face us eye to eye and say these things with a straight face. Face the camera. Come into the light, Caroline. Come into the light. Okay.
GOAT ain't shit.
Excuse me?
I
So
said the GOAT.
I don't have a camera on my computer, unfortunately.
Welcome back, Glacier. Yes, good day. Welcome back, Glacier. We're going to bring you in shortly. Bomb, welcome back, Glacier. Do you want to join in now, or you want to let Bomb jump in first?
What?
I said, would you like to jump back into the conversation now, or would you like Bomb Cherry to go first?
I do have a question as to why I have to prove that I am black to you people every single time. I go through this a lot because of how I speak. Why is this how? I'm sorry, I do not have a camera on my computer.
No,
you people would be a good reason why we can't. Black people don't say.
Sorry, but I try to be as charitable as freaking possible. I try to be as charitable as fucking. Wait,
to you people. Who are you? Who are the you people? Can you emphasize?
You already ostracized me based upon how I speak.
Yeah, but we don't say to each other "you people" when we are the people. Do you understand? I don't say to people because I am the people.
So hold on, hold on, Glacier. So you understand when you say "you people," it makes it seem like that you are not a part of those people.
I understand. I want to know why it is that you guys started saying that I wasn't black just because I didn't have a twang in my voice. I want to know why you guys started.
Nobody mentioned your twang.
Hold on. It's not about your twang, right? It is about that when you came up, you said that you are a history buff in these situations, and that you focus on crime in general.
I never said I focused on crime. Please do not misrepresent what I said.
So what?
I try to understand Black history in general. Black history in general, or just American history, since that's mainly what we're experiencing.
Right. And then you also referenced that let's talk about crime in general, right?
I said, yes, I asked about crime.
Okay. So, all right. So now, okay. And then when we said the crime in general, I said, who is the main perpetrator of doing crime in general? And you did not have the answer. And the reason why most people don't have the answer, the reason why most people have the answer for the black version of all the crime statistics and not for the white versions of crime statistics is usually because they either have an agenda or they not part of our people. And that's why you keep referencing you people and you this and you that, like you are not a part of this you people.
I don't feel very well. I don't feel.
You understand what I said? But hold on, before you move it, do you understand what I'm saying? Why it seems as if that you are not a black person.
Can I talk now?
No, but I want you to answer the question first, and then
I'm asking if I can talk. I'm asking if I can talk because I will answer your question if I'm allowed to speak.
Yes.
Yes, I can understand the distinction, but I only felt inquired to do so because you guys questioned whether or not I was black. The fact that I have to prove myself to every one of you whether or not I'm black shows that there's a distinction that you will only accept certain types of behavior, certain types of speech patterns on whether or not somebody is black or not. And I believe that that's a bit ironic as well.
Okay, pause. No, so and again, so that's why sometimes I stop people because I gave reasons why to people question your blackness, not because of your style of voice, the way how you communicate, because it doesn't have anything to do that. Majority of people on this panel can communicate very well. Brownsville communicate very well. Shadow very well. PA Diva very well. AR very well. All the people that's on this panel communicate very well, very similar to what you are communicating. However, the thing that they don't do is say you people. They do not try to separate themselves from the black people in America. You was attempting to do that. Not only that, you also made sure you understand the statistics that is against black folks, but you didn't have the statistics that is against white folks. And
I don't
therefore,
focus on
with all of that
statistics, which is why I never
together,
said that I knew the statistics. I said I don't focus on the statistics. I focus on the history. How did this happen? What had happened that
Perfect.
changed things?
but you never said you focus on black history. You said you focus on the history. So now when we focus on the history of these communities, you had no idea what the opposite was. And that's when it starts to
What do you
seem
mean
as
by
if
what opposite? What opposite? What opposite of what?
of black history. You didn't know the other
There
side.
is no, okay, I don't see as an opposite between white history versus black history. History is just history. Everything that happens affects everyone.
That
Am I
is
not
true.
allowed to actually say that?
So no, it is true that history affects everyone, but it is a difference between black history, white history, Latino history, so on and so forth. Every culture has its own history, 100%.
Yes, but I don't see why we have to separate everything. Why are we trying to put everything into different in different categories?
Because that's how America is moving throughout of history. America's
not
been doing
my
that since history. America's been moving that way, that we separated certain things. Yes, all of it is American history. However, it do have like let's be honest about what we are saying. This is where you fall into the problem that you are not recognizing blackness.
What makes you say that I'm not recognizing blackness just because I want to see the full picture? I want to see the full picture of what America is. That includes Black Americans as well as white Americans. That includes Asian Americans along with Native Americans.
Pause this. So now when you say that, so is there a such thing as black history?
I never said that there wasn't such thing as black history.
Thank you.
I said that the focus should be as history as a baseline and in general.
Perfect. So now when you are only focused on black history and you don't know the white history and you know the negative aspects of black history, it make it seems like so this way you can understand.
I think you're misrepresenting me again. You are misrepresenting me again.
No, you're not
as in general.
I'm not misrepresenting. No,
general.
hold on, Glacier, hold on, Glacier.
I'm sorry.
Glacier, hold on. The problem is you don't want to accept how you are perceiving yourself.
I believe that you're misrepresenting everything that I said when I said I look at history as in general, not hyperfixating on just one race. That's makes it very problematic to just hyperfixate on just one race when you do not look at the full picture.
Thank you. I'm glad that you say that. And so when you say that, you don't sound like a black person.
So wait. So you're saying that I don't sound like a black person because
right? So let me. So you said you want to. Okay, I'm a. Okay, hold on. So this is what you understand. So if I say Black Lives Matter and then you say All Lives Matter, that's when you don't sound like a black person. So when we say Black history and you said no, I want to focus on all history.
Excuse me, that's
makes you sound like again. I want you to hear it. I want you to slow down.
Hold on,
I want you to slow down, Glacier. I want you to slow down. So you can understand. So you can understand what I'm saying.
You just placed another label on me. I never said
didn't place anything.
Yes,
hold on. So this is what I'm saying. This is why we got to slow down. I didn't place a label on you. I'm trying to give you a correlation to why you don't sound like a black person.
Did I ever say that I supported All Lives Matter?
Again, no, you did not. You didn't personally say it. What I'm trying to get you to understand, I referenced that so you can understand the correlation that people have. And when we say we focus on black history, and then you say, why don't we focus on all history? So I'm trying to relate that to Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. That's what I was trying to do. Not saying that you said it personally. That's why I need us to slow down so you can understand what I am trying to communicate to you.
But when you phrase it as saying Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter, but not let me have an opportunity to speak, that makes it seem like to your audience.
It's okay. You don't have to. That's not. No. Just answer. Hold on, please. We're not going to have a meta conversation. I made a statement so you can understand that, and hopefully you comprehend that I was not attempting to do that. Right. So now we can move forward. When we are talking about something specific, and then you want to turn it into an all, that's when you run into the problem of not sounding like a black person is what I'm trying to communicate.
So basically, I have to be fully and completely absorbed with blackness 24/7 all my life, 24/7.
No, again, no, what you got to be able to recognize that it is a separation instead of trying to make it
But what
all
you're
one
saying
thing.
is that if I wanted to explore history as a baseline, you're saying that's not good enough. I have to focus
No,
on
that's
Black
not what I.
history.
No, again, and see when you are missing these things on purpose, it
I'm not
also makes
missing.
it. You are missing it because nobody's saying that you have to focus only on one thing. The problem is when we are focusing on one thing, and you try to say, "No, I'm not focused on that thing. I'm trying to focus on the whole thing." That's when it becomes a problem.
So how do you think you can solve the how do you think is the most effective way of solving a problem? Seeing it only by a part or seeing it for it as a whole?
One thing at a time.
So the best way of solving any problem, whatever the problem is just breaking it down as much as possible and seeing the minutia while rather than looking at the whole picture.
Correct.
So what if one tangent is actually affecting another tangent in a different place? But you
Right,
can't see
perfect.
that unless you look at it as a large picture rather
No.
than the minutia.
No, you just really gave the example. So if one thing happens that you cannot move forward, you're gonna have to focus on that one thing. You literally just
But
explained the
what
same
if
thing I'm
you
saying.
cannot see that one thing unless you look at the full picture and all of the parts rather than just that one specific part?
Now, tell me where in history has that happened that way?
French Revolution,
So
the
so you're saying they
Russian
looked at the whole
Revolution.
okay, hold on. So let's break that down. If you are building a house, right? We go through steps, right?
You would have to go through several steps, yes. I don't see where this is
Okay,
going.
and so where this is going, that you got to go through one step at a time so you can get the whole building. You cannot put the whole building in. You have the blueprint, you start with foundation, you move your way up, blah, 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 blah. So now if you have a problem with the foundation, then you need to fix that problem, focus on that, fix that. You have a problem with framing, you focus on that, fix that. As things come in problems, you have to hyper focus on the problem, solve that, and then you move on to the next sequence of things.
But
we
problems
in
never
agreement?
represent, I would have to say no. Problems do not represent themselves as one small thing. It ends up being something that compounds on itself before it becomes noticeable.
Okay, give me an example.
Say you end up, okay, this will be a life example, but what if you had a cough? You've had a cough for a long period of time. You go to a doctor and say, I've had this cough for a long time. They can't say that, they can't realize what the problem was, but it takes for them a series of tests to figure out what it was. It turns out that the cause was something internal, as in, for an example, say it was cancer. And that's something that it happened with my grandmother. She had a cough for several months.
I think you missed the
Just
super
have to
chat.
taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see you try it.
I need that to stop trying to let me do my show the way how I could do my show, please. I can see. Please. I don't need to be rushed. Nobody else get rushed to do their super chat. I see people get hundreds of dollars and they don't say not a word. They don't even acknowledge them.
I wasn't rushing. I was just having fun. I just want to melt the glacier.
Okay. Jabba, us people said bye, bird. Deucey, McIver with the fireball. Yogi Fish with the $2. Bullying people isn't a debate, just ignorance. Also, shout out to Italian Wilds with the 20 ball, melting the glacier.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. To what she just said, right? In case she's still in the back listening, when she mentioned the cough, when her grandmother went to the doctors, that's what they focused on, the cough. While doing the research on the cough is when they found other things, right? But they did focus on the cough. What could be the reasoning? So I think she came to troll, which I guess is okay. But she did say you people, and you explained to her why people questioned whether she was black. Wasn't because the way she speak. In fact, we didn't even care what her race was. It was her friend who mentioned that she's a black woman, right? We wouldn't have cared. And she also, so she tried to blame us as black people who we feel a certain way because the way she speak, and that she need to prove to us what she is. We don't care. I just wanted to say that. And hello, everybody. Sharon, I love you. Peachy, I love you. Seven, I don't even know you. Joshua, you know I love you, baby. Kulu, I love you. PH Diva, I love you. But I had to put Brownsville last because I want to hug him tightly and hold him between my bosom. Now, don't tell your wife on me, Brownsville. Okay. But how you doing, bro? Everybody.
Bomb is so
Peace and love.
I love this. I love when Bomb be like this, y'all. She be lovable. She be giving me a hard time, but y'all cannot say Bomb is not lovable when she want to be lovable.
I love you.
And I also
Thank you and love you at the same
And I
time.
also want to thank Bon Terry too for her patience. Thank you, because I know she wanted to just cut up. Thank you, Bon Terry as well. Tony Golden with the 199. Dang, shout out Oreo on Oreo Violence. Goddamn. Go ahead, Beachy.
He didn't even let me use my bullet.
Put the link in the back chat for me, Sharon. We got a couple. Now act right. I'm telling you right now, don't act like yesterday. Mr. Sharon, we could use the link in the back chat so I can paste it for a couple of people.
I got you, Beachy.
Okay, thank you. Did you change shirts? Because that's not what you had on when you first came on here. I'm very observant.
I definitely changed shirts.
I know you. Yeah. What happened? Was you dropped something? Were you messed?
No. Coffee spilled on my shoulder.
How did you have an extra shirt in the car? Like, did you go in the store and buy a shirt?
No, I keep spare clothes just in case I get.
All right, y'all talk about y'all goddamn shirts in the back. Let's get back to the damn.
Hey, hold up, Sharon. Did I use my bullet or not? Or was that the other guy's bullet?
Yeah, she have 40 on her head. Yeah.
Okay, bet. Look, man, I was gonna let it go, and then she's like, "Oh, y'all are just judging me for being black, or because I don't sound black." I was like, "Bro, like I'm literally the example of everything you're saying being bullshit." That's why it was bothering me, because she's trying to play victim right now, and I don't understand what her target was. You started asking her specific questions, and then she's like, "I don't want to answer these questions because y'all are bullying me for not being black." Look, what it is, and I want to keep it a buck. You've been raised around a lot of white people, and you're used to them trying to tell you, "Hey, it's okay. You're just being bro." Like at the end of the day, they're telling you, "Hey, the reason you sound white is because you do. Like you actually do sound white, and that's okay. But then stand on that. Yeah, I sound white for X, Y, and Z reasons, but I am still very black. That's why Beachy challenged you to get on camera. She's like, if you're really black, do it, because right now you sound like a little white girl." True.
Okay, let me read a couple more. Fighter Complex with the 499. If a car dealership has 100 salesmen, you're supposed to put an S on that. 13 of them are black and sold 25 cars versus the 60 white salesmen sold 60 cars. Which group is more? The voice of Venus. Thank you so much, beautiful. Proud of you, Sharon. Thank you so much. Debate skills way up. The constant deflecting did not work today. You walked that down perfectly. Cash that tag. Thank you so much. Most of the time I'm able to walk things down. I think most people just don't have enough patience to allow me to walk people down. They think that I'm too patient with them. I'm not answering. I'm not asking the right questions. Most of the time, most people don't have the patience to actually allow people to get walked down. That's what the issue is most of the time. People think they can do a better job. It is what it is, though. There you go. That's good. It is interesting to see, to be honest. It's interesting to see that people want to have these conversations, but they're afraid to actually have this conversation. So shout out to them for being brave enough to even hit the link. Hopefully they'll hit the link again. It's a little hostile, but you'll get better at debating for it. You'll start to have some goddamn cognitive skills. So you could correlate the proper things to the conversation. Shout out to y'all. We got 200 people in the building all together collectively, and we still do not have 100 likes. Interesting. We got 230 to be exact, and we still don't have 100 likes. We don't have the proper amount of shares. We got to get it together. SBGers, I need y'all to get it together. We need to do better at bringing these conversations out there. We need to get better at hitting the like button. We need to get better at hitting the share button. We have to figure that out. Doesn't matter what side of the coin you are on. There's no echo chamber here. All parties are welcome, but you want to have to fight. It ain't no we don't sugarcoat conversations here. So no matter what side of the fence you on, whether you're on the Glacier side, average female debater, you just gonna get smoke. It is what it is. No matter what topic it is, we are going to handle it aggressively. That's just what it is. We are a strong, aggressive debating style show over here. We don't have to be polite. We are not friends. We're just having a conversation. So
Yeah,
shout out to everybody that hit the link today.
Speaking of strong, let me cut you out because you said 200 people at 2 hours equals $2. So I need y'all to get y'all $2 together and start actually sending some money. I ain't seen no super chats coming in here, and I've been here looking. So I need $2 from the left. I need $2 from the south. And shout out to Venus, but we need some more $2. We not asking for $5. We asking at the $2 mark to send $2. I know y'all got $2. It's Friday. It is payday. And y'all need to say if you like these strong debates, these things that make you think and get a little frustrated, just send a little $2 because $2 make a holler.
That was real cute. E-Man, don't try to be slick and jump up in here and throw in little monies and support the show because you got called out in the first 5 minutes of the show, but you didn't pull up when Brownville was calling for you and wanting to hold you accountable for.
I was asleep. I'm on the East Coast. What are you talking about? I'm on the West Coast.
Slick try to come in and throw in send the money, send the $2 like we're not gonna forget. We're gonna no. You're not slick. You need to answer how Brownsville called you out.
Well, I gotta know what he said. Cuz you gotta
what say you?
Cuz what he say? Cuz I know that knows you, my cousin. I'm 100%.
Here, Brownsville. Here go Edie Man. You was looking for him.
Yeah. So Edie Man Williams, right?
Yes, sir.
I was looking for some black conservatives earlier, right? Because the title of this show we're talking about Krispy Kreme Noam, right? This white lady. Can y'all still hear me?
We hear you fine. I ain't sitting no my way. You ain't sitting nothing crazy yet.
So this white lady, this white conservative, she was fired for mismanagement of ICE, right? For allegedly misappropriating hundreds of $millions of federal funds. And also she is allegedly involved in an extramarital affair, right? And she was appointed by the pedo-in-chief himself. And
That's
we
crazy.
know, right, you were a staunch supporter of him and of the people he appointed in these positions, right? So I want you to understand or at least speak on the fact that degenerate culture is now overcoming white culture, right? It used to be a stereotype and stigma that black people and degeneracy were synonymous to one another. But now, 2026, we're living in a time where white culture and degeneracy are aligned with one another, right?
Absolutely. I think.
And
You still going?
also, right, to land it seems to me that black conservatives and white people, I'm gonna lump y'all two together, black conservatives and white people, y'all are not interested in protecting the children of America, right? Because I rarely hear y'all examining the Epstein files, talking about what you found and all of these different salacious allegations that has been overlooked and hidden from the public, right? that the leader has been accused of, and many members of his cabinet, many members of Congress, and so on and so forth, right? Children, the children of America should be something that we all can agree upon when it comes to protection. But for the Black conservatives and white people, it doesn't seem like a conversation that y'all are willing to have. So can you speak on both Kristi Noem and the pervasive, degenerate white culture and conservative culture?
Well, you said a lot, right? I guess that was like a pile of crap that you want me to all respond to. So first thing, when we see people are doing wrong, the president fired her. Like he'll never get credit for the things that he do right. If I say, hey, check this out, this person is not best for the organization. We found that this person is quote unquote not doing their job to the effect that they are. She got fired. I don't know what else y'all wanted him to do, but at his power, he had the right to fire her. So she's fired, right? That was step one. The second thing is, you said let's address the allegations, right? I know that you work in law enforcement, but allegations are exactly that. They're allegations. Like we're not judge and jury, but I know Brownsville like to be judge and jury. As he did is he already convicted our president of being a pedo just here a couple minutes ago. So I think that's dangerous. I think this has, hold on. I think that's dangerous for us to I guess play judge and jury, but I guess forget the judicial system. That's not important. We can convict people ourselves. The next thing is only maybe Brownsville believe that white people have been dysfunction after all their history of what they done did to us. I have thought that they have been degenerates from the beginning of this beginning of civilization. We done seen what they did with slavery. We done seen how they have ruled throughout the whole world. We have literally seen how degenerate they be. So I don't know where he's getting this whole point that now white culture is degenerate. Like that's something that
Trump, you don't believe Trump is degenerate?
I think white culture in general have been degenerate since slavery. We came from slavery. I think sometimes y'all think that I'm from Georgia. We came from slavery. White people are degenerate. They like it's nothing out here that proves that they're not moving in degenerate ways, and they have been doing it since they've been here.
What about Trump? What about
hold on. So no, I want to address everything. Everybody want to jump in. He said, Beachy said that he called me out. He was looking for me 2 hours and 15 minutes ago. So I want to get him in what he looking for. I know some of y'all run for the fight, but I run to it.
What about Trump?
So are you done? Hold on, Queen.
No.
I got him.
How you want me to answer the question now? Go ahead, Brownsville. Go ahead. Let you pal on some more, and then I'll answer the rest of it. Go ahead.
No, so I want to ask you, is pedophilia a crime itself?
Yes, to my understanding.
Okay, so you can go to jail if you just have an affinity or a strong sexual desire for children. You can go to jail for that.
So you asking, can you go to? I thought you mean like performing it, like
No,
I'm talking about if it's in your mind.
Right? You said words matter, right?
No, yeah.
So you said so. I'm talking about the definition of a pedo, right? Because you took umbrage with me saying pedo in chief, right? So let me ask you a question, right? Did you hear him talk about his own daughter in a sexual way?
I think I have heard replays of it. Yeah.
Right. So do you think that that's normal?
I don't think it's normal.
Right. So when I call him what I call him, because I've read the Epstein files and I've seen all the different allegations involving 6-year-old kids and up that he's accused of. I hear him in his own words express a sexual desire for his own child. right? Those kind of things I can't run from, so I have to label them as what I see, right?
Well, but hold on,
I'm not.
because
Hold on.
you miss doing things. His child
Hold on.
wasn't a youth. She was an adult.
I didn't. Did I interrupt you, my brother?
Go
I
ahead.
didn't interrupt you, right? So you said that because he hasn't been arrested or convicted or
You did
things of that
interrupt me,
nature,
though. By the way,
right?
I was in the middle of a statement.
No, I didn't interrupt you. I actually.
Yes, you did. I was in the middle of a response. Okay, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
You
Go
said
ahead.
go ahead. But here's the thing, right? You seems to be double-minded when in regards to this, right? Because you want to ignore things that's right in front of your face, right? And you want to ask for more evidence and more evidence and more evidence, right? But anybody else, right? Whether it's a school teacher, whether it's a law enforcement officer, whether it's a firefighter or whatever, if he gets accused of numerous sexual allegations against children, right? What will happen to them? They would immediately get put on administrative leave until a thorough investigation is concluded to determine the behavior, right? Because we take allegations of child abuse very serious in this country, I thought, right? But it seems to me you want to get to the point to where we don't anymore. You want to excuse all of these allegations and say, well, you know, they're not arrests, they're not convictions. It's one excuse after another, after another, after another.
Well,
and that's my problem. That's my problem
you
with you.
You still ain't landed
Because
yet.
if I was like you and I was supportive of this person, and then I found out that he was involved in all of these different nefarious allegations, I would be alarmed and I would be on the front line saying, hey, we need to remove this guy from office until we do a thorough investigation and make sure the kids in America are safe.
Yeah, like
but eat
again.
a man
Okay, you
to
still
land
ain't
it,
finished.
to
Damn.
land it, eat a man who is a many kids. It's alarming to me that you're not interested in protecting these kids without more and more allegations. It's alarming, my brother. Peace and love.
Yeah, and so let me ask you a question before I respond, because you said that you read the Epstein file and you found inside the Epstein file that he had allegations that he did something to young people. That's correct, Brownsville?
No, I said I have examined the Epstein files and also examined what congressmen have said.
Oh, he says he said. I knew it. That's all I needed.
Epstein
I
file.
needed. Thank you. I appreciate you. I yield your mic. Listen, he said, she said, because I wanted to make sure I understood what he said. He have listened to some other people who say they read the files and haven't examined them for himself. He have heard somebody said something. Listen, this is no. You said you was a stoic man. That you don't interrupt. I never claim to be stoic. So don't listen. And this is the thing that you gotta do. Hold on.
What about what
everybody jump in now? If y'all gonna let us have a back and forth, let us have a back and forth. So first thing,
this nigga just got up there. And,
you're right, Mom. You're right. I know y'all better save him. You better save him. And you better save him.
I'm not talking about saving him, but the thing is, you are the one making up things. He said what he said, and you are still making up things. He said things about young children. When we heard him with the hot mic, who you think he was talking about when he said he grabbed him by the what? Who was he talking about, Eater Man?
What make you think it was children?
It was because
that is crazy.
Wait a minute. Who was his pageant? Who was the people doing his pageants? What were they? Were they grown adults or were they children? Okay. When he said he walked in, they let him walk in, right? Because he's judging. He's a judge. When
Okay,
he, when
yeah,
he,
save
so
him,
you do
Bomb.
know that.
You can do whatever you want. He just did some windmilling, and Bomb jumped in and said, "Let me save Brownsville. We can't
Yeah,
let him go
no,
down.
well, that's
We
not what
can't
I
let
said.
him hit the ground."
But that's what you men
He
do.
said, I
That's what you,
examined. Hold on, I want to go back to what the man said.
okay,
He
you
said,
just,
I examined the Epstein's file. And I said, so what is examine? I wanted to understand what he meant by examine. And then he doubled down and said, I listened to he said, she said. I heard the Congress say what they have interpreted about the Epstein file. When
what
most
you
of
mean
these
interpret?
Congress,
You mean read? Because when
no,
they
listen,
read it, when they read it, now you're calling it interpreting? Because like I've been up here for a while now since he was running and telling people what I remember back in the day, right?
okay.
The charges and everything that
I
was
just
up on him. But it's okay.
if Brownsville called me out because he's supposed to be this intellectual stoic guy, I'm trying to figure out why he need all this help. That's all I want to know. I want to know if he called me out, he made claims up here. And you know what? I done found some cracks in
What?
Brownsville
Oh, you
honor.
found some crack? Because you sound like you did find some crack.
Yeah,
Okay. You need
yeah,
to put that crack
absolutely.
down.
Now listen, I done found some cracks in the armor. And what I realized is he go by a whole bunch of he say, she say. He been watching them in these courtrooms make these crazy statements. And I wanted to understand. I said, because I know Brownsville is an educated man. I know he know how to read. I want to see Brownsville go through these and find these quote unquote allegations because I have actually read it. And you know what I read with my own eyes? I read that he was the one who turned Epstein in Florida. He was the whistleblower. He was the one.
That's not
Hold
true.
on. He was the one who called on the man. He was the one who was the key person to start the processing on him.
That's not true.
Yeah, you need to go and look when they both
Yeah,
got
that's
Have
not
you
true.
read it? Kulu, have you went and read the
I know what you're
files?
talking about.
No, Kulu,
Yes.
let me ask this question.
Yes.
Have you read anything?
Yes.
And you telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, and you
Yes,
said
that
it
is a
so.
lie.
So you went through all 3 million pages. See, this is what I'm saying. People literally
You're
you're
repeating what
literally
Mike Johnson said.
no. I'm telling you what's on paper.
That's not in paper. Sharon,
So
look it up before I look it up because
let me. I'm asking you, Kulu. You saying that you have went through these 3 million files and this is not inside of it.
I've not went through all 3.5 million files. No, I have not.
So you
But I
don't
went through
know
the
if it's
files
in there or
pertaining.
not.
Yes, I know it's not in there.
Okay. All right.
I know what you're talking about, right? And what you
but he
you
said,
just
but
spoke
Kulu
about.
is literally lying. No, Brownsville, you
No,
said you
but
hold men
I'm
accountable.
gonna clear it up. I'm gonna add clarity, right? So,
But is he lying?
What you said, he's not lying. He's just not informed, right?
Oh, now
So
he's
what
not
you're referring
informed.
to is in the Epstein files. It does say that Donald Trump contacted the Palm Beach, Florida Police Department once he learned that an investigation into Epstein was ongoing, right? So it was more as to figure out if they were also circling and trying to investigate him as well, right? He was protecting himself. He was protecting himself by contacting them about the investigation into Epstein, right?
So Kulu ain't know what he was talking about. That's what you saying.
No,
So
You doubling down. I know I got to fight all y'all.
And
I just want to make sure we fighting the right fight. So Brownsville, you feel like he misspoke, and he need to turn away from his misspoken ways, and he need to start speaking more accurately and stop saying he knows stuff he don't know.
No, Kulu was right. He just didn't get a chance to explain. So I don't know why they said that he misspoke. He was right. He was telling you you was wrong. And you are wrong.
Real quick though. Edelman,
Brownsville, are you saying
how come you haven't addressed
I haven't had a chance to address nothing. What you mean? Every time I try to talk to you, somebody jump in. And this is what you would do, Brownsville. You was like, he's not addressing what I said. And I literally was going point by point to address what you said. And then guess what? I had to get jumped. Listen, I ain't like the dude who just left. I've been fighting for all my life. Listen, all my life I've been fighting. But you can't sit right here and then say, I did not try to respond to you directly before I got interrupted.
You did.
So let me ask you this question, Edelman Williams, right? If you heard somebody that works for you, right, or somebody that you associate with that go to your church, if you overheard a conversation that he was having and he was saying sexually inappropriate things about his own daughter, would you still congregate with that person? Yes or no?
No, I don't congregate with the president.
That's you said no, right? So
I don't congregate with the president.
And here's, I didn't ask you if you congregated with the president. That's another deflection, right?
No, it's not. Like you acting like I got Donald Trump on speed dial, and he's my friend, and he my best buddy. That's the crazy part. Like even when you start making this false,
like he is.
hello, you start. It was even crazy when you said let's compare him to a teacher that we can relieve from office. You can't relieve from office without impeachment. You can't just say, hey, let me put you on an academic leave. Like you're comparing things, and you do this a lot. You compare things that are not equal. Brownsville, I don't see how you don't see that.
Because Brownsville wasn't even talking about you being friends with the president. That's why he was talking about the president being friends with Epstein and not doing anything about it.
Right.
It's just you're so slow that you don't even understand that.
Yeah, thank you.
And Edelman lied,
bro.
He lied.
Edelman lied.
Kulu, we caught you lying in real time. They said that you was informed.
No.
You was
That's what
informed,
Brownsville
Kulu.
said.
Kulu,
You didn't let me.
you was
You didn't let
informed.
me
Like,
finish
bro,
what I was
I don't
saying.
have to because
You
you
said that
misspoke
Trump
on
was the
something you
one.
don't know.
Edelman, you said Trump was the one that got the whole investigation started because of a tip to the FBI. No, that's not what happened. What Brownsville was saying is what I was trying to say about him calling the beach.
Now you was trying to say that.
Like the beach. Yes, it's saying that he was happy that they got him. That's not him. It's like actually like making the call to report it, and to get the whole Epstein investigation started. So I was saying that was a lie. And there is.
But that's not even what Brownsville said. Like you're even misrepresenting what Brownsville said.
It's okay. It's okay. Listen,
Josh.
Let Kulu.
Josh,
Let Kulu do this. You gotta learn who Kulu is. Shadow. He windmill. And he say that he said something
Josh,
he didn't say.
you can look it up right
Clean it
now.
up. Let him finish.
Back in 2006, and this is in the Epstein files, Trump called the whatever beach department and said that he was happy that they finally got him. Right? That's what Edelman was trying to say when it comes to he contacted the FBI. No, he did not contact the FBI.
If that's what he said, Brownsville. Hello, no, Brownsville. Was you saying that he called the police department and say they was happy that they got him, Brownsville?
That's one of the things he said that's in the Epstein file. Yes.
And he said it that way. He was happy that they got him. That was his wording.
I don't know if that's the exact verbiage.
It's thank goodness for stopping it.
But Kulu is
like is the word.
With what he's saying.
Yeah, I guess I'm
okay.
confused.
I guess I gotta fight now. I gotta fight AR. Come on, AR.
Well, Edelman, you were already wrong once, twice.
Okay,
I'm
wrong.
Times you want to be wrong?
That's
you
cool.
said
I could be wrong.
He was the reason that the investigation even happened. That is what you said, and that's not the case.
Right.
And so you can't say Kulu is wrong and see this, that, and the other, and then not admit that you're wrong. He did not. He is not the reason.
Listen, I have no problem with saying I'm wrong. I can be wrong.
How come you haven't? How come you haven't? You've been focused on Kulu being wrong.
He's not wrong.
You're wrong.
Listen. This is the
you
whole
said
point.
Something verifiably false. Say you were wrong because you haven't said it. You just said say you're wrong. I don't want to hear the only words I want to hear come out of your mouth is you're right. I was wrong. Kulu, I was wrong. You were right. That's all you got to say.
Have a conversation.
Nobody wants to hear you speak.
I'm
other than
telling
to
my
say I was wrong. Nobody cares, Edelman. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
You with the ponytails.
Trump, dog.
I told you they don't want to have no one-on-one conversation with me.
We're having a one-on-one. We just want to hear you say you were wrong.
That they got to fight me.
You said you have no problem saying I'm wrong.
Because they know I be knocking them out in his face. They call me Holyfield of the the dudes. The men that does it really good. Like you keep talking. The whole point that I'm saying.
Nobody wants to hear you talk.
You see, I told you Brownsville couldn't fight me straight up.
Well, to be fair, AR, you haven't said anything, had nothing to add to the commentary, has nothing to say. But as soon as he came up here, you got touched in your spirit. So it is fair to say that you are bothered by either man. Okay, he has triggered you in a type of way that is fair.
Yeah, I don't like liars. And earlier, PhD was talking to them, and Sharon was talking to them. They were handling them. But either man comes up here and he just likes to spout bullshit, and then think that he can spout it. And then when someone else supposedly spouts bullshit, he'll call them out on that as he continues to spout bullshit and never corrects his own bullshit. And that doesn't make sense to me. And he has this narcissistic behavior about him where he does that every time he's up here, where he comes on here and someone talks about Trump and he finds a way to try to defend him. Like he's even talking about, for example, he is complaining or trying to point out Brownsville not reading all the Epstein files without addressing the fact that why can Brownsville not read those Epstein files? Why does he have to rely on congressmen and congresswomen to go read those Epstein files for him and then come back and bring it to him? Why does he have to rely on that? Does it have anything to do with the president and the DOJ not releasing those Epstein files, specifically unredacted? Does it have anything to do with that? Well, how come he's not talking about that? Why is he only focused on the fact that Brownsville cannot legally and has no capability to read those Epstein files and has to rely on congressmen to tell him what's in there? Why isn't he talking about that, Beachy? Since you want to back him up so bad, open your mouth, unmute your mic.
First of all,
why is he not talking about that?
Ask him why he's not talking about it.
You want to defend him. You just opened your mouth to defend him. Go and defend him some more. All right, you can mute your mic again. Mute your mic again. You don't have to keep on talking either, man. Why aren't you talking about that? Oh, now that nigga want to run. That nigga want to run.
Talking about just for the simple fact that I mentioned that there's extra energy being projected now that either man's here, and your energy towards me lets me know something that he's triggered something in your spirit. See how you are.
So you gonna address it, or you just keep on yapping about spirits and all this other bullshit?
You're becoming unhinged.
You're not gonna address
by the simple either man. He has gotten you unhinged.
So what I was gonna say earlier when I was Sean, you was up here talking to a Canadian that don't even live in the U.S. for an hour and a half. I don't understand that at all.
You are unhinged.
Then you let somebody on here that most likely had a voice changer. Y'all were going back and forth with them. I don't understand. I didn't understand that either. I don't know what happened.
All right. Hold on, y'all. I didn't know that information. AR. I'm glad that you gave it to me, but I did not know that.
No, I'm not giving. I'm just saying they were
I'm saying the information that you just gave. I did not know that. Yeah. Let me see. Read the back chat. Good day to you. How you doing? Interesting. Interesting. I see what you was trying to do. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what that person was trying to do. That's hard to point to.
Well,
somebody typed something in the back chat alone.
Somebody got dropped, and he said y'all dropped him 7. Is that you? I don't know what happened there, but
no, that was the person I just brought up. But it seems like they dropped when I brought them up. I guess they just wanted to drop that in the back. I guess I don't know. I didn't read it, but hey, go ahead, AR.
It's cool.
I don't know where Shadow went. I really wanted to address him because, the first question that I remember when I hopped on, or the reason I had hopped on was because the question in the beginning, which was someone had asked, I think to the Cash App, do black conservatives, I think it was something like this, do black conservatives pedestalize white conservatives? Mm-hmm. And then Shadow had the audacity to cape and say they don't do that. As if we can't see it in we look and Noam is a perfect example. You guys brought it up perfectly. It's like she has no credentials to be in the position she's in. Mm-hmm. And this is what they ran on the entire campaign about, meritocracy. People with merit need to be in these positions of power. And we go through the lineup of Trump's cabinet, and the majority of them don't have the merit to be in the position they're in. And then when you call them out, one of the, trolls that was up here had the audacity to say something along the lines of, well, she's at the head of the organization, so of course she's going to get the blame. And it's like, y'all didn't have that same energy when Buttigieg was Secretary of Transportation and a train derailed, as if he was the one that built the railroads, and that he, those railroads have been messed up since way before him. And so, yeah, there's a double standard, and Shadow coming up here or saying, oh, well, I don't think there's a double standard. Meanwhile, Trump is cheating on multiple wives. You can go down the list on the things that they did, and the way, you look at the 10 Commandments. He claims he's a Christian. You look at the 10 Commandments. How many of those 10 Commandments does he follow? How many of them does he break? Versus Obama, and they was calling Obama the Antichrist. There was a whole campaign about how Obama is the Antichrist, and then they vote in someone that cheated on his wife, gluttonous, puts other things before God, and all these other things. So, you know, I wish Shadow was here to, you know, be here and talk about it, but I don't know where he dropped off to. But yeah, you know, those people earlier, I don't know why you were giving them so much attention. One of them
I
don't even live
agree.
in New York.
I'm with you 1,000% on that. And even out of politics, all of us, those of us who are literally not doing any of the worser of the things to do, always get demonized and treated as terrible. Like they just put stuff like doing nothing nefarious, nothing evil, but they're gonna demonize it. And then meanwhile, the other person over there that's doing blatantly horrific and committing all the sins with no remorse whatsoever gets idolized in the past. So it's like that. I don't understand. That's something you need to ask the world. Why in the heck are we crucifying and nailing to the cross people who are just doing basic family stuff? They're normal. They're just hanging out. They get, yeah, this is something that happens all the time with just regular people. I guarantee you, Sharon has probably been criticized, all type of stuff. Even being at home with his wife and kid. Someone's going to find a way to demonize that. But he's at home. Where else should he be? Who else should he be with? His wife and his daughter. But somebody will find a way to demonize that and turn it into. Meanwhile, there's somebody else out here, and maybe even in the comments, who ain't seen their kid and who got however or doesn't have one. They treat them a different type of way. Like that's what people do. It's upside down. It's upside down. Period. You get rewarded for bad behavior, and then good behavior gets treated, you know, awful, and then made to be the bad guy. That's the world we live in.
Beachy, in the back, they were talking about you. They were saying that was a woman who shot somebody, and they had the name Beachy, and they wanted to make sure it wasn't you.
Wait, what? Oh, they talking about me?
Yeah, they talking about you back there.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hold on a minute.
Hey, President Sharon, I would like to send a formal request. Hey, President Sharon, I'd like to send a formal request to subpoena the Vice President, Edelman, back to the panel, because he just tried to lie under penalty of perjury on a Sharon Bracey gang citizen, and I need him to come back up here because he just tried to paint me out as a freaking liar. And I told you, Sharon, look it up because I knew I wasn't capping about it, and Brownsville just explained what I got cut off to explain, and I'm trying to defame my character. And we need to subpoena, man.
I would like to second that motion, and as a matter of fact, I would like to hold impeachment trials. I would like to put forth some articles of impeachment, and I would like to have the House the House, you know, vote on it, and then we can have the Senate, you know, convict
Being
or
the head of the
find not
House,
guilty.
I agree with AR and Kulu. Okay, we need to get him impeached. What your vote is, Beachy and Brownsville? What y'all thinking?
Yes, I think he should be you know, under these articles of impeachment. But you know, I also want to mention AR is 100% correct. You know, we can take it a step further. These black conservatives never talk about Pete Hegseth, right? Leader of the Department of what we call war now, right? He was a Fox News commentator, DEI hire, right? You got Tulsi Gabbard, right? She's in charge of our intelligence community with no experience in the intelligence apparatus at all, right? You got Linda McMahon. Literally, WWE is in charge of our education. Why don't these black conservatives like BMU, Otis Who Network, Either Man Williams, why don't y'all talk about how we have all of these unqualified individuals that are presiding over the most important roles in our government to keep us safe? Since y'all don't want to talk about protecting children, can y'all at least talk about that? Peace and love.
They want to poll, Sharon. Is that we about to do it?
The poll is in the chat.
Dang, we done took it to a vote.
We took it to a vote. Where we was at? I think we were at here. All right. Go ahead, PhD.
Let me go cast my ballot. They checking IDs, y'all. Make sure you got you at your right polling precinct and you got your valid ID on you. All right. Acid bath, $2. You all have the teeth of the Hydra upon you. She's so weird. Kim West, $5 for bomb. Thank you, ma'am. Verbal assassin, FAFO. Hey, verbal, $5. I told y'all you can't trust folks with far apart eyes. Yeah, if they too close together, you can't trust them either. Aaron to Lucas, $5. The problem is that we are arguing about morals in politics when everyone we are voting for is morally corrupt. It's a race to hell. Amen. Amen.
But we're not arguing about just morality, right? I just told you we got people who are unqualified in the most important positions in our government, right? How are you going to have WWE in charge of our education? A Fox News commentator in charge of the Department of War? Tulsi Gabbard, who's got a lot of experience in other things, did not have any experience when it came to the intelligence community. Those are just 3 examples, but there's many more examples I can name to show you that we have a lot of unqualified people in these prestigious positions that we count on for our, safety and security. Speak on that.
I guess, I don't know. Like they were up in arms about DEI hires. Supposedly it was up in arms about DEI hire. We all know it, just me and black people. It was up in, and sometimes women as well. They was up in arms about that. And then when administration gets in and just adds a bunch of people that have no expertise in the things that they're leading, now all of a sudden people are silent. You got a brain-worn patient as head of HHS. How does that make sense? He has no credentials at all in the medical field. It doesn't make sense, and they just stay quiet about it. And so for like people like Shadow, I mean, we knew what Edeman was going to get up here and say. Like, I mean, his whole shtick is just pathetic and obvious. Like, as soon as you say something negative about Trump, he's going to somehow find a way to suck on his shit, do his best, and then run away. He said, "I'm done. My jaw is sore. I'm out."
Good. That's great.
So, it's just, I expected better from Shadow, and I don't BMU. Every time I see him come up here, he do the same shit basically. It is what it is, man. I don't really find these people to be conservative. I just really find them to be more, religious than anything, Christian nationalists or something like that. Than
I'm agreeing with you.
You expect more from Shadow? How you expecting more from Shadow? Have you heard the tales that he told about his life? He done went to jail for everything. Jaywalking, murder, attempted murder. Like we could go on and on and on.
I saw the Panther signal. What'd you say, AR?
I said I expected better of you.
Explain.
Again? Have you been listening?
No, I wasn't. I was driving. Well, I was driving and delivering an order.
Oh,
anyway.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so earlier, the reason I hopped on earlier was because they had said, someone had sent to the Cash App or whatnot, do the people on the panel or whatnot believe that black conservatives hold white conservatives on a pedestal or pedestalize them? And you said no. And I thought that was crazy. And I don't know if your opinion has changed so far since the 2.5 or almost 3 hours that the show's been going, or if you still hold that belief that they're not held to the same standard as anybody else. I mean, we can go down the list.
That's a different question, bro. The first question is, do black conservatives hold white people on a pedestal?
White conservatives.
I said no. Fine. Either way. Yeah. Fine. We'll specify conservatives. And I said no, and I still stand on that.
Okay. What's the second question then?
But the second question you just asked, can you reword it? Because I remember what you said, but then I lost it. You said, do we what?
Pedestalize. I thought that was pedestalize white conservatives. The black conservatives, or people that claim to be black conservatives, pedestalize people that claim to be white conservatives.
Right, but I thought the second time you asked a different question, and I would have agreed with the second one. But the first question is still no. But I thought you asked something different. That's why it caught me off guard.
Okay, so when you look at Trump, let's just take Trump for example. And do you think that there's plenty of people that claim to be white conservatives put Trump on a pedestal, say he's a savior, he's sent from God, all these things?
Yeah, I'll say that.
Okay, do you think those same people were calling Obama the Antichrist?
Black conservatives?
Yeah, sure.
I would disagree with that.
Okay, do you think those black conservatives support Obama?
That's a different conversation, and I'll say no. But
okay, no.
I'll say no because it's difference in policy.
Okay, and so when you talk to them and they, do this whole moral righteousness thing where it's like, what matters is, the things that are in the Bible and all this stuff, and you look at what Trump has done and just the obvious flagrant disregard for the stuff that's in the Bible, do you think that they should support Obama more than they support Trump? Because by the Bible standards, wouldn't character matter more than policy?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So, but you got to understand, I'm seeing it differently than yours. When like the biggest thing Obama pulled off, like in reality, the thing that his name's kind of really stuck on, the policy that landed and is still active today, is his progression of gay rights, which is very anti-Christian.
You were going to say Obamacare.
No, what? Obamacare is, again, I got feelings on Obamacare up and down. To me, it was a scam to begin with. Like, it's a tax scam to people who actually have to be on it.
Okay, so one that and you're saying, what's the policy again that you think?
His actual advocation and actually like standing on gay rights.
Okay.
I think that's what he did that actually led and stuck longest.
Okay.
Everything else has been kind of backed and forth and pulled and pushed over the entire thing. So Obama wasn't a bad president in my opinion. Hell, I voted for him the second time.
Yeah, but when you hear these, so-called black conservatives criticize Obama, you hear them criticize that portion of Obama's presidency and his administration the most, or do you hear them criticize other things? His connection's out.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Most of the time when black conservatives criticize Obama, it's about his overall policies. It's mainly about letting
you can't name one.
So we'll just look at.
It's not that I can't say it; it's that I'm trying to respect Sharon's channel by not flagging something out. What I'm saying is,
take those policies that are in your head. You don't have to say them. So when you look at those two things, do you think that a Christian should be supporting someone that maybe goes with those policies, but still has to go through through Congress to get them passed and has a great character, or do you think they should be going with someone that puts other idols before God, commits adultery, is gluttonous, pretty much breaks half the 10 commandments among other things, treats others as doesn't really follow any of Jesus's teachings, can't recite anything from the Bible. You ask him what his favorite testament is. So he's basically a false prophet. Do you think they should be supporting, and let's say they agree with some of his policies, because, whatever. Which one of those do you think they should support based off of their Christian faith?
Well, that's going to be a whole different question. So get this. When we go for president, we're not hiring a priest, because if we were, we would have hired a priest or a preacher. We're not looking for
but aren't these religious people doing that? Because you just said the biggest issue for them was the fact that Obama supported gay rights.
Right.
So that's hiring a priest, because that would be a priest that doesn't support gay rights because it goes against the Bible, not a politician.
No, I think so. You got to understand that's a whole different story. Gay rights specifically are and in their opinion, anti-life, anti-Bible, anti-etc.
Anti what?
anti-life, etc.
Okay. Should a politician be concerned about what is anti-Bible, or should they be concerned about what is anti-American?
If their beliefs are rooted in it.
Okay, so you're hiring a priest at that point.
Hold up. If their beliefs are rooted in it.
Okay, yes, and we're talking about those ones. They claim to be black conservatives, and they claim to be these religious people. That's what we're talking about right now. So their beliefs are rooted in that. Therefore, they vote more for a priest than they do a politician.
I think a lot of black conservatives are fiscal conservatives. They're conservatives based on what they believe. Like they want a smaller government. They want there are conservative values that they stick to that they believe are inherently for black people.
Okay, so all right. So we're not going to talk about the religious black conservatives. We're going to talk about the fiscal ones. Okay. So now let's compare those those fiscal policies that should be enacted. Compare Obama to Trump. Who has spent more money?
I mean, Trump by definition,
how's that by definition? Obama was in 8 years.
Wait.
Has been in for 6 or for 5.
Hold on. So, because you have to also look at the situations that were involved in that. There were various situations that were situational differences between Obama and Trump. Sorry, I'm back. Yeah, between Obama and Trump. So, and with inflation being what it is, the cost of everything also massively increased governmental side. So, I mean, measuring inflation, I'd say they were probably closer. Differentiating for inflation, I'd say they were closer than not.
Okay. So if under Trump taxes go down and the government's expenditures go up, that's not fiscal conservatism, correct?
It's personal. It's individualized fiscal conservatism because they did reduce taxes. They reduced taxes on the people, which is in effect.
If you pass a bill that supposedly reduces taxes on low income and middle class people, but then introduce tariffs, then you're actually increasing taxes. You're actually increasing the cost that people have to pay out of their correct. You talk about inflation, all these things. That's not fiscal conservatism.
Wait, functionally, I can see where you're going for, but again, now I've got to talk about it from a personal aspect because I can only talk about what I see. What I make in tips and overtime, right, throughout every week, right, I made more than I spent allegedly with these increases based on the tariffs. My net value as a whole has grown drastically over what I would spend per se. So again, now if we're talking about it realistically, if I'm looking at what Trump did and how it affected me, how it affected my family, and how it affected people who are also in my position, we did benefit from it.
Okay, so if 60% of the country is paying more and 30% are not, you would classify that president as being fiscally conservative, even though overall the country is paying more.
Hey, folks, getting it. Oh, no,
I get where you're coming from, and I don't agree with that. No, I got a call from my daughter. Sorry. No, I get where y'all are coming from. I can see why you wouldn't consider that fiscal conservatism, but people as a whole are grown. We're paying more as a country, but we're also increasing what we're getting.
We're increasing what?
Nothing but bills.
I mean, our overall net value.
Josh, stop the cat, bro. Like we're in Dallas. Gas went up almost $1.15 over the last week and a half. Gas is at $3.20 right now, bro. And last week, last week was at $2.20, $2.30.
Bro, wait. We're also in Dallas, but our increase always happens like this.
Let me know.
Getting back into it. So, you started off saying that, it was, you think that the things that Obama is known for is because of the gay rights. And then you went from that to saying, oh, well, people don't rock with them, not because of that, but because of some fiscal conservatism stuff. And then you ended with saying,
I argue about Obama's fiscal conservatism. The only fiscal thing about Obama that most conservatives don't like is the taxes that overall come up when it comes to Obamacare. Like that's a real statement.
Okay, so do you understand how the budget works?
Yes. What about it?
Okay, so if the budget keeps on increasing and taxes are going down, how is that getting paid for?
I mean, it's getting paid through like increases in costs generally.
How does it increase in
Increases-
how does inflation pay for the how does that work?
Tears. Let me help you out, Josh.
Yeah,
Say
look,
tears. That's what they said on Fox. That's what they said on Fox News. Say tears.
Right. Hey, President Ron, let's do the impeachment hearing.
We got a couple of more votes. We need 40 more votes to make the impeachment official. We need 40 more votes to make the impeachment.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, I'm trying to get impeached.
Okay.
I want to go down in history as the first person in SBG to get. We know.
Hold on, let me read a couple of
go
the
ahead.
super chats and we get back into why he's frozen. Are you there, Diva? Not sure.
Here.
Okay.
Aron to Lucas, $5. The tariffs accomplished exactly what they were supposed to. It forced other countries to renegotiate trade deals, which long-term helps American jobs.
Wow, that was crazy.
Aaron's another slurper.
That's not important. That's not important.
Him and either man.
Hold on,
take turns.
and make sure y'all mute up while we reading so that we can address any super chat you want to address after we finish reading them. Just let Diva finish reading them, please. Thank you.
Please, and thank you. Phil James won $10. The Department of War Secretary was not only a Fox News commentator, he also served in the military. Tulsi Gabbard was on committees in Congress related to intelligence. Do a little bit of homework.
Damn.
I got
Excuse
you.
us.
Aron to Lucas, $5. The problem is what?
Yeah, was this one? Sorry.
Oh, okay. Aron to Lucas, $5. I agree. Pete and McMahon are unqualified. Tulsi was qualified, though. She served on multiple related committees while in Congress.
Do you want to address any of the super chats, AR?
I want to address it.
Yeah, but
Here's the thing.
all right, my bad, Brownsville.
Yeah, because the problem that y'all are having is y'all don't understand that even though you might be partially correct, that they have some qualifications. What y'all are missing is that compared to their predecessors, they are the most unqualified in those positions than any other person who ever served in those positions. So even if you point out that Pete Hegseth, yes, he was in the military, he wasn't a 4-star general. And in the history of our country, when it comes to the Secretary of Defense or the Secretary of War, however you want to call them, predominantly, they were all former 4-star generals. And if you go with Tulsi Gabbard, she might have served on some committees in relation to intelligence, but she doesn't have any experience when it comes to making decisions related to intelligence. So they are still unqualified when you consider the qualifications of their predecessors. I need y'all to get more informed. Peace and love.
Also, before AR go, with the gas app, it says Trump tax cuts only benefits the top 1%. Okay, AR, what you want to address?
That's absolutely false.
Yeah, just to hang it up on this portion. So, Shadow, are you, since you kind of went over into the fiscal conservative aisle, are you saying that those that vote based off of the Bible first and everything else second? That was really the original question. Do you think that they should be voting for someone that breaks more of the 10 Commandments or someone that breaks less?
I'd say less. That's fair.
Someone that goes against Jesus's teachings more often than not, or someone that goes against them less often?
Personally or presents?
What'd you say?
Personally or presents? Somebody whose personal life
someone
shows.
that you can, someone that, yeah.
Are you asking for somebody who can be a model, or somebody who can actually still preach the teachings? And keep in mind, those can be two different.
We can say either or. You can say both or either or.
I mean, if you support the teachings, I would still vote for you, even if you don't necessarily follow the teachings to the letter that you should.
And now what about the other?
Even if you're a backslider, but you still believe in the teaching of Jesus, I'll still support you.
And what about what if it was the opposite?
If it was somebody who actually lives, if it's somebody who lives the life but doesn't necessarily preach it the same, then I would go for the person who's preaching it over the person who's living it, because there are people who.
Well, that doesn't even apply in this situation because Obama was a Christian. So
yeah, Obama was a Christian anyway.
Yeah.
But again, I supported Obama.
So when you look at that, and by your own admission, Trump fails at that more than Obama does. So if for the religious people, they should be voting for Obama, but we don't see that. We see them criticize and call Obama the Antichrist when he was president, and then you kind of see
Trump never beat Obama. That's why I don't understand this argument.
See what I'm saying?
We chose Obama.
Man, we don't have much expectation for you to understand anything. So you say you don't understand. You don't even have to say you don't understand the argument. We already assume.
But we literally chose Obama over Trump.
That's great. So Shadow. So when we're talking about these people, okay. No, you again have a lacking of comprehension.
No, because you're comparing the American people. When you put apples to apples, when you say, who did we choose? The American people, Obama or Trump? We chose Obama.
You don't understand the double. Do you understand what a double standard is?
No, you making this false equivalency.
Because I insult your intelligence.
I know you do that all the time.
So I'm going to ask you, and so maybe you can prove me wrong. Do you understand what a double standard is?
Yes, I understand what a double standard is.
Do two people have to be running against each other for a double standard to occur?
But did they run against each other, AR?
Do they have to be running against?
No.
Hold on. Okay, so we're talking about double standards.
Hold on, I answered your question. See, this is what AR do.
This is me and Shadow. This was a me and Shadow conversation. It had nothing to do with you.
Because what you're doing is you're comparing two things that happened. Did Obama run against Trump?
Can you bring Shadow back so I can finish the conversation with Shadow?
This
wasn't a conversation. Either man can get his next.
Okay.
Obama didn't run against Trump, right? I don't know.
Yes, he did. No, he actually did.
Run against Trump.
No, yes, he did.
So Shadow. So when we're talking,
he didn't even get the Republican nomination that year.
So Obama and
you talk about
Trump didn't run against each other.
Right. He ran against Hillary. If that's what you're talking about.
Didn't even qualify to go against Obama because Obama was a better person.
What?
We may not have agreed with his politics, but a lot of conservatives voted for
They didn't
Obama.
run against each other. There was no There was no election where Obama was a Democrat nominee and Trump was a Republican nominee. I don't even know what you're talking about right now. It's irrelevant.
They make shit up.
Let me address the cat as a cash app towards Shadow. Shadow, how does Trump tax cuts benefit you?
As I just explained earlier, when the tax cuts actually happen, I actually make around 400 because I work 62-ish hours a week. All that overtime that's now untaxed, including the fact that Texas does not have actual income tax, I make almost $300 to $400 more a week in just released tax revenue, not including what I make in my taxes on tips. I've actually benefited significantly from these tax cuts as again, now as a middle-class American. Yeah, I actually am benefiting from it. That's what I'm telling you. When you say it only affects the top 10%, that's not real.
You guys,
if it's not affecting you, you don't make overtime.
Yeah, Shadow might not. I think he's right on that only because I'm retired, but on the other side of me, my spouse, they're getting more money now. I'm not going to speak what type of work he does, but they took out the taxes for their job and some other stuff, and it went up. I'm not going to go into details, but
be careful. They go attack you. They go attack you if you tell the truth.
Well, but The truth is the truth. I can honestly be like, I can see the difference. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but it balances out
So
because the gas prices, grocery prices, rent prices.
Wait, I'm trying
It
to
does.
understand what they
But
mean.
if prices increase and you get a little bit back on your tax return or whatever,
I mean, we're in the same city.
We don't have to Shadow. You didn't answer the question earlier.
We're in the same city right now. Oh,
You
sorry.
didn't answer the question earlier. No, how are you paying if the budget is increasing because the budget is it's a federal budget?
Fair,
right?
No, but
And
you answer
tax-
his
and-
previous. Don't let him gaslight you. He need to address that. You said how the taxes was actually affecting. You got support from DG.
Shadow, did I ask you how the taxes are personally helping you, or the tax benefits have helped you? Did I ask you that?
It was a super. It was
super chat.
it was the money.
Yeah, but he answered that.
No, we need a knowledge.
But AR saying that he answered it, that he want to get back to his form of.
Oh, he just want to go talk to him. Okay.
Yeah, it's more enjoyable than listening to you talk. If his connection wasn't trash.
No, it's 'cause I'm jumping back and forth through Uber.
Okay, so federal budget taxes go down. How does the federal budget get paid for when taxes
Generally
are going
through
down?
taxes. It
Yes,
still gets
so
paid for through the residual. It still gets paid for through A, residual taxes, B, taxes through sales taxes in a lot of major states. Like there's a number of ways it can happen.
The federal budget doesn't get paid for by sales taxes in your local area.
I thought when the states
when
paid
you
for sales
when you
taxes,
have the budget increasing at an astronomical rate and taxes going down, maybe it benefits you today, but your children, and later on, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now, that check comes due. You have to pay, or not the check, the bill comes due. Yeah, the bill comes due.
Right.
So if you're lowering taxes and increasing the budget, and you're creating a bigger difference between the two, between the money, the income you're getting, and the money you're spending, it's real simple. You can think about it in your personal life. If you're spending $1,000 and you're only making $800, and then you decide, hey, I'm only going to make $500 now, and I'm going to spend $1,200, you're creating a bigger divide. How does that get addressed?
So here's the issue. Had Doge not been interrupted, that would have solved the problem. We would have been able to hold on. Wait a minute, y'all. Again, y'all are too quick to try to cut me off and then say I'm not explaining myself. Had the extra money we weren't spending been saved into the tax revenue that we didn't need to send out anyway, all the extra marital affairs that we were paying for, then that in itself would have decreased that budget into a surplus.
Okay, that's fine. So, who was the head of Doge?
Musk. What about?
Okay, and what did he have to say about the quote unquote big beautiful bill?
I don't remember right now.
He said it was a catastrophe. It was terrible.
Right. He was against it.
Okay.
So if the person that is in charge of efficiency is telling you that this bill is terrible for efficiency, for spending, and for addressing the crisis that we're in with the national debt, then what is that? What does Doge have to do with anything? That still says that the president who said that this is his bill, that still says the president said this is his bill and he wants it passed. I guess you can't hear me.
There you goes.
Can you hear me?
So what you said? I can't know.
Okay, so if Doge, who's head of if Musk, who's head of Doge, which is what you're saying is was going to solve all of our ills, even though it wasn't, but let's just say it was. If the head of that department is saying that this bill is terrible for national debt and for efficiency, then shouldn't you also be saying that? And shouldn't you be saying, hey, who is trying to pass this bill? And the person trying to pass this bill is not a fiscal conservative?
No, what happened was he started taking money from him too.
Nobody's talking to him, and he's still
It's okay. It's okay.
It's crazy how that
Listen,
works.
I will be
So,
impeached
Shadow,
in 10 minutes, and in 10 minutes you can say what you want. But the point that I'm saying, while I'm sitting as vice president for the next 10 minutes, he was upset that he was taking money from he was also taking money from Eli Company. That was the problem that they had. That's why he was upset with what was going on.
Just make up shit. They just say anything.
He does. It's like talking to a toddler that's not trying to get caught in a lie. They just make shit up.
All right, so I got a catch up. It says, Sharon, please Google who Trump tax cuts benefits. So I did that. Who gains the most? The richest 1% of Americans receive the largest average tax cut, about $8,850 in 2026. The group sees the biggest dollar value reduction because the law lowers their tax burden more significantly than for other income brackets.
Do you understand what that means, though? That means
And
that
the
hold
ones
on.
who didn't need the break got the largest break, and those others,
No.
even though you may see a little break now, but you won't see it in a couple of years like he did his first term. His first term, when he gave breaks, people saw some money. And then the following year, you owed more money. And then the year after that, you owe way more money.
No, so say for example, Sharon, if I say I'm gonna give 10 people a 1% break, one person got $10, one person got $100, one person got $1,000, and one person got $100,000. It doesn't mean that this policy is not fair. It means that since I have more money, I can have a bigger break. But if say for example, I know that sounds crazy. If you had $100, I can't give you a $10,000 break because you don't have enough. When you start understanding how tax cuts work, you got to have the money to get the cut.
Right. Okay. So that means the people that is at the top, the 1%, they got the biggest cut.
Yeah, I don't think we arguing that they got the biggest.
That is the argument. The argument is that the 1% got the biggest tax cut, and they are not the ones that need the biggest tax cut.
That wasn't the argument. The argument was they was the only one that benefited from it.
Right. That was the argument that other people, that if you won the 1% or you didn't get any. Nobody else got anything, and that can't be true.
No, it say who benefited the most.
Oh well, yeah.
That wasn't the original. The original was saying that only the 1%. Go back to this.
So Shadow, how does tax cuts benefit you? It was the first question, and then Trump's tax cuts only benefits the top 1%. Those are the
only. That's the point that we telling you. It doesn't only benefit. Do they get the biggest benefit? Yes. But it didn't only. If you just look at if anybody's filing taxes right now, when they increase the standard deduction, that benefit majority of Americans.
No, and I already explained, but you want to ignore me. Yes, just because you got some money now, you're gonna pay that money back. Then look at what's going on with the gas prices, the grocery prices, electric. So you really not getting anything, right? Because everything going up.
And also this, so Edelman, all right, so we know the top 1% benefit. Who do you think this tax cut hurt the most?
I think the tax cut hurt the people who don't have money.
So it hurts low and middle income households.
No, not middle income. When
Yes.
I say no,
It's literally, it says, okay,
okay, go ahead.
Here,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You
right. You right, Vice President. I'm sorry. It's your show. Please forgive me.
And it kind of goes to what AR is saying, right? These similar tax cuts are more affected by tariffs, which raise consumer prices and often offset some tax savings. Also, people that's on the federal assistance programs may negatively affect them by funding cuts tied to them as well, and with reductions of SNAP benefits. So low and middle class households are affected the most. So it benefits high income and it affects middle and low income in a negative way. So yes, the only person that's benefiting off of it is the top dogs.
All right, well, I'm just telling you what I've seen. I know Shadow benefit. That nigga been supporting. He never support before Trump came in office, but he went over here for his defense. But I'm just saying, I see a lot of people keeping money and they have the option to spend it the way that they want to.
That's crazy.
Now,
you didn't see that benefit until after you do file your taxes. Now you saying something that I haven't heard.
I filed my taxes. Business owners are really benefiting right now.
No,
It's
I'm glad that you said that because that's BS too. But Sharon, please Google who Trump tax cuts benefits. I just went over it. I just went over that, so hopefully you did hear me. So no, it benefits the small business owners that is buying equipment, right? Like if you buying equipment and stuff like that, yeah, I would say yes. But
or inventory. You mean inventory
right.
too? Okay, yeah.
That is right. So only those, men, and we know a lot of small businesses do not have inventory at all. So, but like, and it is okay for us just to be honest about it. It helps and it benefits the top 1%. The people that's in low to middle class, it is not a good look for them, and it is okay to be honest about it.
So
now,
do you
somebody in the
believe?
chat, guys, made a point about utilities did go up. So what Bon was saying, I kind of get like, okay, yeah, some people getting bigger paychecks. Because I was thinking, I can't get taxes. I don't qualify to get taxes back. But for the people who do get some back, okay, yeah, the taxes are like this now. Some people paychecks in certain professions are noticing it's a little bit more heftier lately. And yeah, we're not going to pretend it's not. Those of us with real estate property and some things going on good there, it's looking nice and we like that. But we're not going to pretend.
Right.
Back to what Bob was saying, the other stuff done went up. The groceries are awful. Shout out to the chat, whoever put utilities up. I don't know how they tripled my power bill. It's forever in the last since I've had kids, but they're grown out of the house. It still never went over a certain amount because of my usage. And all of a sudden, I'm paying double what I do in power, and I'm not using double electricity. So it's like, really, guys? So it's other ways where, okay, this went up, but I'm paying more here. So what she was saying was it's almost like a look at here, but I'm gonna take here, and it still come out to be like,
I just got one question though.
Look what's going on with
hold on, y'all. Let me read this. We're gonna read this. Bomb go, then Eat Man go, and let me just Navish and Dollars know the construction industry did not benefit a lot. Maybe if you into steel, you might have benefited somewhat, but as a totality, the construction industry has not benefited. We gotta pay more in everything. PhD, but you there?
I'm here. Kulu live streaming $369, $10. Sharon, if I get back an extra $1,000 in tax cuts, but my grocery bill increases by $100 a month, that's $1,200 extra my bill is costing me, which means the tax cut doesn't matter. That's just one bill.
Wow, great point. It's a great point. And I think that's the part that a lot of people are missing, right? So we'll go with Bomb Cherry, Eat Man.
Okay, so I know with the electric, what has happened is these companies want to put these facilities in our areas, right? And then they want us to pay their bill, though, right? Their electric bill. So it's that AI stuff, the amount of energy in order to have AI, they're passing that cost on to us.
And
So
Bob is 100% right, but but what we do is he act like that increase came from the government.
But the government is the one that's allowing that. You know that?
Oh yeah, no. Listen, so the government is I think when AI came, they didn't understand what AI was going to do. I really think they did.
About that. I'm talking about the policies that they put in place, allowing these companies to do this. They can listen. If it's that company's bill, then why are we paying their bill?
Absolutely, you're 100% right. I believe that we need to hold these companies accountable, and what I'm looking at the conversations in Congress is that they're finding ways that they want to hold them accountable. They're even trying to put restrictions on AI right now. Based on the conversation, but it's just a conversation. Conversation is just fancy for they ain't did nothing yet. So you're absolutely right. We got to stop that because they are passing the buck on to the consumer. But what I'm saying is that was going to happen regardless if Donald Trump was in office or not. These data centers. So that's the point. And sometimes we're trying to hold him accountable for. We knew these data centers was coming for the last. So you
Trump
think that
is the one reversed some of these things that was in place that was protecting the consumer. He reversed it, and this is where we are.
So I just want to make sure I understand your take. You believe that AI in the data center would not have came and did these things if Donald Trump was not the president?
I'm not sure what you mean. Data center could be there. That doesn't mean they passed the price on to the consumer. I am saying Donald Trump is for the corporations. He had reversed some things that was in play where they couldn't do this. Even with our credit score and different things like that. He's doing a lot of things that's against the regular.
Oh, but so here in Washington, we have always, this is not new. I just maybe Washington's different. This have been a conversation in Washington for the last 10 years of us paying for these data centers. So this is not a new issue that you think that some law change. We've been paying for data.
Listen, you the one who don't know what I'm talking about, which means you don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm telling you that.
I don't know why you're talking
right.
about we in Washington. Like, I didn't even know you was in Washington. I thought you was somewhere else, but okay.
He talking about up this Washington State, not Washington D.C. And also, and also let me get this Cash App question before you go back at it. Bomb. It says Trump tax cuts for workers expired after 2025. Go ahead, Bomb.
Oh, that was for me?
No, that was just I just wanted to address the Cash App in real time.
Yeah, which tax cut? Because he just signed something just last year, right? Just like not even a year ago. So the tax cut that he gave his first term, just expired. But he just signed the big what they call the big beautiful bill.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think we just hashed it out that it's not benefiting low income or middle class individuals, which is the majority of America. So maybe you missed it, Shadow. I guess he missed it. So while you believe that it's benefiting you because you got more money in your pocket, but since you're spending more, it's not actually benefiting you the way how you think it is. That's the issue that a lot of people are missing. So you got an extra $1,000 in your tax cut, but if you pay an extra $1,200 for the year, it doesn't make sense.
No, and I get that, but what I'm saying is that's the imaginary part. The part that, like, I don't look at money from, like, me and you have had money conversations before. I'm not looking at it from a, hey, instant gratification. I'm looking at cost versus effectiveness of what that money's doing. I look at the actual value of the money that I'm spending at the time that I'm using it, what I'm getting versus what I'm putting out. And what I'm telling you is what I'm getting outweighs significantly, despite everything else that's happened since, it still outweighs significantly what I'm putting out. It is not absent what you're saying. And I live in Dallas. I'm telling you that number, what y'all are presenting versus what is actually happening in real time is not the same.
Wow.
Yeah, this is crazy. I just heard a story just today when somebody in Texas, he owned a gas station and he was MAGA, like super MAGA fan, where he reduced his costs to under $2 a gallon just to make a point pro Trump, right? He was saying, hey, there's gas less than $2 in our area because he had to file bankruptcy now because he lost over $300,000 giving people that gas for less than $2 a gallon.
But gas prices is more local than you think. Like, it's a lot of local taxes. Like, it's a reason you go to California, it's so much higher.
Don't miss the point though. Like that's fine that it might be a local situation.
Yeah, he was crazy. Why would he just did that's bad business?
It's not just no. So the problem is that like when we try to now, she was talking to the overarching point what's happening in America. You want to focus on just that one person, right? But she was using that one thing just as an example to what is happening throughout the country. So for example, like Shadow's talking about, hey, he got a significant amount of money, but a lot of places in New York, if your bill was $2,000 in electricity, it jumped up to like almost $10,000.
Yes, obviously high.
So that's what we have in the conversation about, like how the jump is astronomical. So we cannot say because I got an extra $1,000, but I'm paying the extra $2,000 that we got more money. That doesn't equate. So when she used the example of the gas station, like, hey, he was for it. On paper, it looked all great, but what happened was that he wound up spending more money than he was getting in for the gas. So he was actually paying people to use his gas.
No, the point that I was making is the data centers was coming good. If we was under the last tax code, we still would have these high bills with less money. And now we got more money with these high bills. Like, we got to get to this point that the data centers was coming. I'm telling you, this thing that the data center just manifested in the last two.
I'm not talking about the data centers.
But that's the problem.
No, I am talking about the cost. Listen, if a company comes into your area, they're supposed to pay their own bills. It's like I pay my own electric bill, my own water bill, own mortgage, garbage and all of that. They should come in and pay their own bills. But that's not what they're doing because they are allowed to pass their bill on to the consumer.
I'm telling you.
Hold on one second, Edie, man. Not only that, so I also got, you know what? Go ahead, Todd. I'm gonna see if I can find it and pull it up.
Yeah, so but that's what I'm telling you is company have been passing their bills on for years. Like I'll tell you, like if you in a place that have a lot of data centers, like I don't know if y'all understand how Seattle infrastructure is. They have been passing this bill on for a long time. Like this is not a new concept because they quote unquote states that hey, this is a benefit of the public, so the public should pay for it. This is not a new concept.
Yeah, but I just find it funny how.
All right, so it's not a new concept. So what should Donald Trump should be done? We should get our bills increased by double, 3 times.
No, I think we're doing the right steps. Congress need to go ahead and pass a law that they put restrictions on data centers and have a.
This is kind of crazy. I saw somebody did send me that Donald Trump is trying to attempt to have a meeting with these AI leaders and everything. It's a whole hour-long video, so we're not gonna be able to watch it today. I'm gonna have to go ahead and parse that out. Thank you for that. I'm gonna have to check it out.
So when Donald Trump have meetings with businesses, what normally happens? They give him money, and then he lets them get away with what they want. Because that's not how the government's supposed to work. The government shouldn't be having meetings with all company owners, right?
Well, Bonnie, y'all know that oil that was seized. I was watching that meeting until they kicked us out. But that oil that was seized when they sent those missiles over there and got the oil in the ships for Trump, the DV, they have a hosted a meeting with oil business owners for first dibs, which bonds right somebody wanted to be in favoritism. The way they were seated in that meeting, you could tell they were sitting in a type of hierarchy who's more preferred to the back, and they were getting ready to bid on why they should be able to go over there and mine for oil in the very place that has been dominated by Trump and his administration, and how to divvy up the oil that he had. He was like, I'm like, wow, this is what type of high level trapping is this? You divvying up the break like you breaking the pie down. Yeah, I know I'm speaking a little trap talk, but y'all understand where I'm going. He was basically divvying up and trapping out the oil that they stole and giving territory to go over there and set up shop and make more. And that is definitely not what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Politically correct thing to do, but he did it anyway, and no one was going to stop him. But I was in here at a meeting, and the guys was like, "I think you should pick me because my company, we got a lot to bring to the table." They were straight up trapping out the oil, y'all. It was unbelievable. And then at some part of the show, Trump said, "Okay, we're going to get the press to leave. The rest of this and the numbers we discussed isn't for the public. This is our business, so y'all can leave." And the video ended, and I watched that, and I'm just like, "Wow, how do you?" What type of trap star? What type? It was basically the same thing your I'm gonna say a kingpin would do with other things. They're gonna take the product, divvy it up, break it down, and then put people on in certain territories to continue hustling that product out. And I just thought this is what I said: elite crime. When I said the word elite, this is not just white collar crime. This is elite white collar criminal crime. That's all I have.
Okay, and let me address the Cash App. Says Google when tax cuts expired for the working class. Okay, so I did. So these provisions expire at the end of 2025 unless Congress renews them. This means working class households would see higher tax rates, a smaller standard deduction, a reduced child tax credit starting in 2026 if no extension is passed.
I'm just confused that whenever it's Trump and he's in office and prices are high, Edelman and Josh want to, oh, it's the companies, it's this reason. But when Biden was in office, oh, it's Biden's fault the reason why inflation is so high. It's Biden's fault the reason why eggs are so high. It's Biden's fault the reason why all these bills are so high. It's just like keep that same energy. It's Trump's fault the reason why we have all these issues that we're dealing with today.
Biden was literally helping and throwing shit at the wall, bro. Like, we can actually, here's the thing, no, you can actually look at everything the Biden administration threw money at that was not related to the American, to the American. Why?
Do we not have? But do we not have?
Don't tell me what to do.
Everything we do is done for a reason. And Trump, what are you saying? What policy you know that he has?
I just put my seatbelt on. Who's that, Bond?
All right. So while you think about that question, think about what was asked. Aaron Tulis with the two ball. What's different between Trump and other presidents? Aaron Tulukas, sounds like business as usual with corporations. Go ahead. So
corruption, he said.
I misspoke.
Yeah.
Sounds like business as usual with corruption. Thank you, Bomb.
You're welcome.
So answer Bomb's question and then also answer what's the difference between other presidents and Trump. Go ahead. Do you remember Bomb's question?
No, I don't remember Bond's question. That's why I need to catch up on.
Name a policy, either a policy that you know he passed, right? Because he's been in there for over a year now, and name one that he mentioned before he got in that he stood on, that he stuck with.
Are we talking about Trump specifically, or we're talking about Biden?
We talking about Trump.
No, I just didn't understand. I thought we did a comparative analysis. That the big beautiful bill, the tax cuts on overtime and tips, yeah, that was a policy that he's won on, and then continued. The mass deportation efforts, which is why everybody's protesting them, he ran on that, and he's doing it. That's why people are protesting it, because he's doing it at the rate he said he was going to do it. He was like, I'm getting them out in the way that I expect, and I'm going to make sure it happens. And we just don't like the way he's making it happen. So,
Do we
yeah.
have any active military in the group, you guys? Any active military? I know some of you all are former, but active military is doing well right now. They got that little increase. I shout out to my son out here serving the United States Air Force. He got an increase. I don't know what part of the policy they went in, but that was brought to
policy.
And I'm not for Trump, but I'm just saying I can see what things work, and I can see a lot that was like awful. But I mean,
well, I can tell you that Trump gave less, so every year military we get an increase, right? And Trump didn't give as much of an increase that they would have gotten if he wouldn't have cut that. Okay, so yes, we got less because of Trump, not more.
I don't know. I know what his money looked like and what they went up, and that was a pretty good increase. I don't know what retired. I don't know, but I'm saying the active military right now, who's currently serving and overseas and where else, they're getting more money. So they really are.
I already told you we get more money every year.
Okay, well, that was quite a nice increase. I don't know what yours look like, but that was a pretty noticeable increase in my son's income.
Well, I can assure your son ain't getting as much as I get, honey.
Well, you're not active. You're not United States Air Force, and you're not active.
No, but I am retired, though. I am retired.
So then, why would he be getting? You didn't also do 20-year retirement. You don't even like. What are we doing here? But
I don't have to do
I don't know why you're comparing what
years.
you're making to what a young man who's 23
You
making.
just
He shouldn't be
okay.
making more than you. You've lived 5 times longer than him. But at
Okay,
some
but what I'm
point,
saying, the way you
why
said
we
it, when
arguing
I
over whose son make more
because,
like what
listen,
you doing?
listen, you don't understand what you usually say, and then my response, and then you act like I'm the one who did something wrong. Okay, you didn't do nothing wrong neither. But
I don't
my
know. Just-
comment, don't act like I'm attacking you or your son. That's not what happened. But you did say that I mentioned that every year for 20 plus years that I've been getting a check from the military. You understand? 20 plus years, right? That's why I would get more than him. I get it. I told you that we've always gotten more, but I also said that Trump cut the percentage of the increase that we would have gotten, and that's what I said.
Okay, I can understand. I wouldn't know that. I received that. Like, if you know that usually y'all would go up, I don't know, 15% every year, and let's say this year it was 13. I don't know that. So okay, I don't know.
That's all I was saying.
I don't know what percent. I know how much percentage he got. I'm not gonna, but I don't know what it normally is. I mean, I just said that, active. That's why I said active military. Your money, I know it should have went up right at that time a few months ago.
I get the same increase that he gets every year.
Okay,
the active duty is no different. The increase that you get every year will be the same. Not the amount of the money, the percentage. Okay, and that's what I said. Trump cut that. He made a lot of cuts in order to get his money for that big, beautiful bill. He made cuts to regular things that will help most of us to help the 1%. And that's all I was saying. Okay.
Excuse me. First of all, whoever's in the chat. First of all, I am going to speak with my son. My son is over here training in that pilot program, and I work very hard for that black young man. Okay, to go into the Air Force without a tattoo, never smoked a cigarette, never drank a beer, made the score that is kind of high to get in the United States Air Force. He was perfect, and that was not easy to do because they don't even want you to have a dang on visible ink showing, smoke a cigarette, alcohol, drugs. He has none of that and was able to get in. He over there in Germany doing his thing, driving a foreign, and he's only turning 23. So yeah, I will speak on him. I will let you know what I birthed up out of this womb. And I will congratulate him and the rest of our sons out here who are not up on this internet trolling, selling dope on the corner, hiding Cuda Brown, a drunk, a degenerate, and a gambler. We are going to see you the type of person I don't like because you don't want to see a brown young man get up here, do air traffic. Why don't you go be an air traffic controller? Why don't you go over there and see, can you do it? Let's see, can you make that score to get up in there? But I pray that you can't. So you, instead of hating in the chat because either you couldn't do it or your sons aren't do it or your mama didn't raise you to be a successful brown man of color, don't come telling me what not to say. I'm gonna let the whole world know what mine do when they're doing well. Okay.
Congratulations, Queen. Congratulations to you.
Like, why would anybody stop telling it? No, that's what we're supposed to do. Instead of us telling everybody who's selling dope, who got the best loud, who over there drinking on their breath, instead of us always putting that up. The minute somebody say, oh, the positive that y'all are doing, men of color, somebody want to say, well, we don't want to hear that. Why are you talking about that? Why aren't we? Why aren't we not celebrating when our race is doing some great things? Y'all want to demonize us for what? Doing the right thing again, going back to what somebody's AR had said. Doing the right thing, be like, don't speak on that. Don't be talking. No, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna be loud and proud. How about that? Now you go somewhere and make an accomplishment. You go out there and do air traffic control. You make those scores. You stay drug free. You stay well, he probably having a drink or two now, but you stay cigarette free, alcohol free, black and mild free. Don't come up in here with your Newport and your goddamn on GED trying to diagnose my parenting. How dare you? Okay, I digress.
So back to
shout out to yourself.
Because I just looked it up, right? The tax. I just looked up the no taxes on overtime, and somebody up here said that they seen a significant amount of money, right? But it just started, and you're not gonna see that until next year. So when you say that you see it now, I'm not understanding because I'm reading it right now, right? And the extra taxes on no overtime is just the amount of hours in the overtime. In other words, if you have 2 hours overtime that week or 5 hours overtime that week, you're not getting taxed on that 5 hours that week, right?
Right.
And
You're not getting taxed on overtime.
On the overtime. I'm not sure. I'm looking to see if you still get the time and a half, or they requiring, because I thought they took some of that stuff away. Where
No, you still get time and a half. Yes, ma'am.
okay, that's cool. That's good. So they taking the tax off that, and then only up to a certain amount of money, and you got to qualify. So you may qualify as long as you filing jointly, right? They got to. So everybody's not getting that tax break that we think. And then the tips, there's a small amount of people in this country, very small, who work for tips. But did y'all see everybody asking for tips now? You go and get some gas, and these motherfuckers say, hey, you can add this amount for tips. It wasn't even nobody lying.
Hey, I swiped for a Subway. I'm like, wait, asking for tips. It's like, do you want a tip? No, you're supposed to make a Subway, and I pay for the Subway. There's no service.
No service, no nothing. They asking for tips.
You ain't never lied. You buy a bottle of Advil. You say, do you want a tip? No, I bought that Advil already increased. What is y'all doing? So everybody asking for tips. Like unbelievable. That machine said, do you want no.
Josh, it's time for you to leave the conservative party, bro. I'm sorry, man, but you put us you and MAGA put us in this position today. My gas bill is skyrocketing because of you, bro. My food bill is skyrocketing because of you, bro. Like,
bro, stop.
It's time for you to switch sides, bro.
My electric get turned off, Kulu. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I won't be on the internet. I might be outside with my cell phone.
You could be like them other people who say, I ain't gonna be able to go live, y'all, unless y'all send me money for my lights. You can go. You can be like them ratchet bees over there in their raggedy sector who come on and beg for utility bill money, Wi-Fi money, Maxi Pad money, and everything you can think of. Just do that. Just come
went from $300 to $800, y'all. $800 for electric.
Woo! Wait, what? Now hold on. Now, wait. What did you say? Your
And I would love, and let me just say this: I would love if YouTube was applied in this whole tip thing, but it is not. It would be nice if it was. But it is.
YouTube tips don't let her slide with that $800.
No.
Did you just say your usually was $800?
Yes, 8 for 1 month.
For how many months?
1.
Hold on now, Bum, come on now. How much was the rent?
Yes, it's the double plus.
Yes. Over here on the East Coast, it's like that.
Oh, it's not like that everywhere on the East Coast. Let's relax.
But Bum down south like me.
Shit right there.
No, I'm not North. I'm in Delaware.
I don't know why I thought you was in
The same shit. All that up there is the same shit.
So up north, y'all
Exactly,
paying
yeah.
$800
Ain't like that down here.
regular power bills. Well, y'all making me feel real good about Alabama right now, and we the murder capital. I guess
Josh, there's a guy.
Each other over the
Josh, there's a guy.
State in the union.
If somebody got to get hurt every now and then for me to have a low power bill, I take out dirty Alabama because I know we on the murder capital.
Hey, there was a clip on Fox News.
My power bill for the month that it froze over was $113. I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about.
Well, me too. Come on, shout out,
That is crazy. I can't get that.
Shit. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, y'all, I know people got mad at me a couple of days ago when I was talking about how the difference in down south, but yo, it is a huge.
It's nice.
Yo, I can't. Yeah, I'm not saying.
Car insurance,
bro. When I hear about what y'all pay for car insurance up there, when my girl told me her brother's paying $600 in car insurance, I'm like, that's insane because I'm paying. Well, he's obviously younger, but I was never paying anywhere near that much, even when I was below 25. You know,
our car insurance is $700.
Yeah, that's insane. That's at Northeast.
$65. I pay $65 a month on insurance, and that's on 2 vehicles.
Did I miss Eda Man's conviction? He got.
No, we got two. We only 2 votes away on Edelman's impeachment, so we can make a decision. 2 votes away.
Oh, hey, please.
Vote against it.
Who hasn't voted yet? I was the first one to vote.
I need your
And there was a video, Sharon, on Fox News. Trump was in a barbershop, and one of the guys was speaking to Trump, saying, "My electricity bill jumped from 2,000 to 10,000," and Trump was like, "Wait, what?" You know what I mean?
Crazy. It's crazy.
Bro, yeah.
Yeah, because
I know he was saying that happened under Biden, though. I don't think they were saying that.
Who on the panel just driving around with this liability and ain't got full coverage? Can you identify yourself? Cause
That $65 liability only.
No, I'm also almost 40.
And how much you paying?
I paid $65. My liability was 25. My liability was 25.
For full coverage.
Are your premiums maxed out?
Wait a minute.
We need one more vote.
Who are you using? Look, who are you using for insurance? For so $65 a month for full coverage.
Shit.
Keep in mind, I'm still paying for this truck. Like, my insurance. My insurance.
Who you use for your insurance company, so I can go over there and search their rates because it's $65 for full coverage. I'm doing something wrong, and I want to save me some. I can save a couple $100. So just let me know.
I'll put you in the back.
Yeah, do that.
Why you under 499 votes?
We ain't trying to do no free promotion over here. But I would like to know
that amount of money. We all want to know. Gee.
Yeah, somebody paying $88 for full coverage. Wait a minute.
The amount that I pay includes the home insurance and a few other things, but it's
Can
still
you
high.
please do a panel one day and everybody so we can find out who's got the cheapest insurance, so we can just quit going in there putting all our numbers in and doing wasting time. Whoever got the cheapest insurance, can we all do that? Because I feel a type of way. Y'all talking about
Me too. I feel a way too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel a way.
It's like I think I'm 102, and that's what maxed everything.
I'm tired.
Josh got that Bootblade insurance. That Bootblade, that's the main company round the corner. And when something happens to his car, it's over.
That's it. I'm done with y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna start a committee. I don't care if Diva Bomb be the chairman up under, but we're gonna start not only do we need to know these rates, we need to understand who we need to be doing business with. I don't care who color they are. I get y'all want a little black business, ain't got nothing to do with insurances, okay? This is something that affects everybody. I don't want to lose my cars. I don't want to total out and be around here. You know what you want? If you don't pay that insurance, something gonna happen. We gotta have insurance.
Okay, I'm gonna buy everybody.
So committee going. I nominate Bomb or a PH for the committee chair on the cheapest rates for insurance so that we can stop overpaying, because I feel a type of way right now before we get up off of here. I got that shadow. I saw that. I'm gonna go look them up right away.
All right. PH Diva.
Yes, sir.
You got any final thoughts?
Bye, y'all. Have a great weekend.
Nothing wrong with being. Let me.